Chapter 76. Charizard's Limited Supercar. The secret realm is a bit interesting. Wang Lu's eyes showed interest. Originally, Wang Lu has a system, so he can become stronger by completing dungeons step by step casually. But people have to go out for a walk. Since there are many powerful Pokémon in the secret realm, Wang Lu doesn't mind going to have a look. If he really meets one he likes, it would be good to tame a few of them. Okay, first stop, Lingyun City. Wang Lu lock on target. Boss, I'll go with you. Cao Li raised his hand and shouted. Classmate Wang Lu, I'll go with you too. Mirong Shui also said with a smile. Wang Lu naturally nodded and agreed wholeheartedly. After all, it would be more lively if there were more people, so it would not be deserted. And although Wang Lu is a straight man, it does not mean that he hates girls. He just doesn't like to be a licking dog and kneel down to lick girls. At least in Wang Lu's opinion, Mirong Shui and Zhao Hongyi are both very good girls and they are very comfortable getting along with each other. Moreover, these two girls have beautiful faces and refined temperaments, and they even admire themselves a little bit. This feeling, Wang Lu is somewhat secretly refreshing. Okay, Ting. Tian Hui was very happy to see that Mirong Shui was willing to travel to Lingyun City with Wang Lu. For such an outstanding girl as Mirong Shui 04, she was worried about Wang Lu, fearing that Wang Lu would be abducted by others if he didn't seize the opportunity. At the same time, she looked at Zhao Hongyi again and asked with concern, Hongyi, won't you go with them? Zhao Hongyi smiled bitterly and shook her head, Auntie, I can't go, I have to guard the gym. Oh. Tian Hui nodded and said nothing more. Lingyun's secret realm will open in a week. Wang Lu and the others were not in a hurry and made an appointment to set off together in 3 days. In the next 3 days, Wang Lu handed over the archaic pterosaur to his parents for research and collection, while Wang Lu himself continued to brush up on the old copy. Zapdos, Golden Legend, Level 92, Champion. Salamence, Golden Legend, Level 75, Quasi Elite. Celebi, Golden Legend, Level 65, Hall Owner. Electivire, Golden Epic, Level 70, Quasi Elite. Dragonite, Golden Epic, Level 68, Hall Owner. Milotic, Golden Epic, Level 65, Hall Owner. Haxorus, Golden Epic, Level 60, Hall Owner. 3 days. Although Wang Lu said that he had not conquered any new Pokémon, the levels of his Pokémon have improved a lot. Especially Electivire, it has broken through to the Quasi-Elite realm. Then Dragonair finally evolved and became Dragonite. In an instant, its strength was greatly improved. Finally there is Zapdos. During these 3 days, the bellicose Zapdos kept fighting and leveling up. However, after 3 whole days, its level has not improved at all. This is because its level is too high, and the amount of experience required to upgrade is too huge and terrifying, so it is difficult to upgrade. Let alone Zapdos, which has reached the championship level, the upgrade speed of Salamence and Electivire, which are close to the elite level, has obviously slowed down. Fortunately, Wang Lu also has rare candy. In these 3 days, Wang Lu did nothing but keep picking up. Today, he already owns 1 billion xia coins and 53 rare candy. Ding, Zapdos has been upgraded. The current level is 93, Champion. Ding, Zapdos has been upgraded. The current level. Ding, Zapdos has been upgraded. The current level. Ding, Zapdos has been upgraded. The current level is 100, Master. Wang Lu didn't think about anything else and immediately defeated Zapdos to the full level. Then, the other 6 pets have 5 pellets each. Zapdos, Golden Legend, Level 100, Master. Salamence, Golden Legend, Level 80, Elite. Celebi, Golden Legend, Level 70, Quasi Elite. Electivire, Golden Epic, Level 75, Quasi Elite. Dragonite, Golden Epic, Level 73, Quasi Elite. Milotic, Golden Epic, Level 70, Quasi Elite. Haxorus, Golden Epic, Level 65 Hall Owner. There were exactly 15 pills left, so Wang Lu kept them for emergencies. Early the next morning, Wang Lu spent 800 million to order the Charizard's Online, a limited edition supercar, and parked it directly outside the gate of Tianhu Laboratory. Charizard's, this is a limited edition mega sports car. It has a cool appearance and a dark blue side. It looks like a sprinting Mega Charizard X, giving people a very... It's just so cool. As the saying goes, you get what you pay for. The price of up to 800 million represents not only the top quality, but also the top fashion, as well as the top style and taste. Compared with this top-of-the-line limited edition supercar Charizards, those old-fashioned Ferraris and Rolls-Royce Phantoms are nothing. When Wang Lu came to Tianhu Laboratory, the area around Charizard District was already crowded with people. Damn it, this supercar shouldn't be yours, right? Seeing Wang Lu coming, Tianhui couldn't help but ask. Wang Lu nodded and smiled, yes, I just bought it yesterday. Mom, how do you like it? Isn't it cool? Tianhui's face was full of excitement, cool, so cool. Some researchers around him couldn't help but look at Tianhui. Professor Tian, your son is so awesome. First he discovered archaic pterosaurs, and now he bought a limited edition mega sports car. He is so outstanding. If I were a few years younger, I would marry him directly. Puff, you think beautifully, you are already in your 20s, how can you be worthy of the handsome 123 guy? Awesome. Professor Tian, your son will definitely become a dragon or a phoenix in the future. Nice. Awesome. Naturally, these researchers all know Wang Lu. Not only did they know each other, but they also had a good impression of Wang Lu, and were even full of gratitude and respect. Because it was Wang Lu who discovered the ancient pterosaur, and then handed it over to two professors, Wang Hongguang and Tianhui, for research, and prepared to publish a paper and make it public to the world. At that time, the existence of the ancient pterosaurs will surely shock the entire academic community, and several of them, as research assistants of the two professors, will also be nominated. This will be of great help for them to upgrade to professor in the future. Everyone, stop boasting, this kid just can't stand boasting. Tianhui said so, but she was very proud in her heart, who made her have such an excellent son. Mom, if you haven't finished studying the ancient pterosaur, I will leave it here with you, and you continue to study it. Wang Lu said as he got in the car. Wang Lu was very relieved to put the ancient pterosaur in his parents' laboratory. Relying on the powerful strength of the ancient pterosaur, it can deal with normal little thieves and punks. If there is a problem, Wang Lu can also ask Celebi to teleport and come back in an instant. Afraid of a hammer? Now, as his strength grew stronger, Wang Lu became more and more confident. Chapter 77. Taming in 1 second, the power to control the dragon. Tianhui nodded repeatedly, fearing that she would miss Wang Lu's important event, and said, when we finish the research, we will send it to you via teleporter as soon as possible. Wang Lu shook his head, no, just keep it here with you. I have a lot of Pokémon on hand now, so I won't be able to use it for the time being. I will contact you again when I need you. In the future, I will send pets over from time to time. Tianhu Laboratory is very large and has a built-in garden. But there are very few Pokémon inside, and most of them are ordinary items. Without good research subjects, how can scholars write earth-shattering academic papers? So, Wang Lu plans to send more Pokémon over, believing that this will also help his parents' career. That's great. Tianhui nodded happily. After leaving the laboratory, Wang Lu drove the cool Charizards to the meeting place with Mirong Shui and Cao Lai. Mirong Shui didn't know that he bought a car, so she drove here too. Certainly. She doesn't have to drive herself. She has several full-time drivers at home. Every time she and Mirong Bai went out, they would be picked up and dropped off by a special car. As for Cao Lai, he came on foot. Wow, Mega Charizard X! Boss, you are so awesome! This car costs 800 million, and you bought it just as you said you would. After seeing Wang Lu, Cao Lai rushed over immediately, staring at Charizard X with bright eyes. That look seemed to be looking at a girl who had just come out of the bath. However, he didn't even dare to touch it. After all, in his opinion, this car is too expensive, 800 million, and even if one part is slightly damaged, Wang Lu cannot afford to pay for it even if he sells it. Cao Lai, come and drive. Wang Lu got down directly from the driver's seat and motioned to Lai Shangdi. To be honest, Wang Lu doesn't like driving very much and is very troublesome. If Cao Lai wants to drive, he can drive. If he doesn't want to, it's the same thing if he pays for a driver. Shall I drive? Cao Lai was startled, as if he was dreaming. In this life, does he, Cao Lai, actually have the opportunity to drive so well and be so cool? As long as he can drive such a car, he will be Wang Lu's driver for the rest of his life, and it will be worth it. Classmate Wang Lu, your car is so cool, I want to ride in it too. Looking at the cool Charizards, Mirong Shui walked over with a surprised look on her face and said to Wang Lu in a coquettish way. Okay, come on, let's sit in the back together. Wang Lu smiled. Mirong Shui nodded and signaled to the driver that he could go back, then happily got into Wang Lu's car. At this time, Wang Lu just discovered that there was a Dratini lying behind Mirong Shui. No wonder. Because Mirong Shui has long hair, and the Dratini is very shy, it is completely hidden under Mirong Shui's hair, and occasionally it will stick out its cute little head and look outside. Oh? Your Dratini hatched. Wang Lu smiled slightly, he was too familiar with Dratini. Because his Dragonite came from Dratini step by step. And Dratini is very timid, shy, and afraid of strangers. Wang Lu's Dragonite was a little better at the time, because he was a boy after all. As for Mirong Shui, this Dratini is Stephanie's sister-in-law, so she is undoubtedly more shy and timid. Mirong Shui nodded and said, yes, there is an incubation machine at home, I took it back and it hatched the next morning. Hehe, Dratini is so cute, I love her. It's a pity that I'm too timid and shy and never dare to fight. It will be troublesome to upgrade in the future. Mirong Shui smiled and grabbed Dratini and held it in her hands. She looked at Dratini with a very gentle light in her eyes. She sounded as if she was worried about Dratini's future. But Wang Lu saw that she really liked Dratini. Just like herself, Dratini would evolve if she liked it, and it didn't matter if she didn't want to evolve. Even if it is always Dratini, she will never dislike it. But in her heart, she still hopes Dratini can be braver. Dratini. Level 5, low level. Qualification Purple. Purple qualifications are not bad. After evolving into Dragonite, you will have light gold qualifications. Glancing at Dratini's attribute panel, Wang Lu smiled slightly, and while releasing the power of dragon control, he reached out and grabbed Dratini. Wow! Being caught in Wang Lu's hand, Dratini did not resist at all, but was very happy, and her big eyes narrowed in comfort. While rubbing Wang Lu's gentle palm like a charm, it made a soft and sticky cute growl. This. Mirong Shui's eyes widened, she is really unbelievable. This Dratini was hatched by her own hands. Mirong Shui knew very well how timid, shy it was. On weekdays, she only sticks to Mirong Shui and only dares to hide behind Mirong Shui, and she has to be covered by Mirong Shui's long hair. If the housekeeper or servant at home, let alone touch it, even if it is just a little bit close, it will be frightened and cry. But I didn't expect that it would like Wang Lu so much. Facing Wang Lu, it turned out to be so clingy and cute. In fact, its love for Wang Lu far exceeds that of its owner Mirong Shui. This. Mirong Shui was immediately jealous and couldn't help but reach out to grab Dratini. As a result, Dratini instantly turned her back and bit Mirong Shui out of the blue. Although it was very light, Mirong Shui was instantly stunned. Why? Mirong Shui wants to cry but has no tears, I am its master. Wang Lu, give it back to me quickly. Mirong Shui was really angry. She was afraid that Wang Lu would abduct Dratini, so she stood up and reached out to snatch Dratini away. Fortunately, Cao Lai had just started and was still testing the car, and it was such an awesome supercar. Cao Lai did not dare to act recklessly and drove the car very slowly. Otherwise, Mirong Shui's action will be a very dangerous action. Seeing Mirong Shui coming to snatch it, Wang Lu subconsciously raised his arms. Mirong Shui did not grab it, Hao Zhao, because of inertia, she fell directly on Wang Lu. Mirong Shui blushed and quickly sat down again. While combing her hair nervously, she bit her lip and said softly, Wang Lu, you are evil. Reminiscing about the moment just now, Wang Lu returned Dratini to Mirong Shui and said with a smile, haha, do you want to know why? Because I have the power to control dragons. Mirong Shui was startled, the power to control the dragon. People with the power of Waveguide are called Waveguide heroes. People who have the power to control dragons are called dragon messengers. No. It should be grass. Only those with powerful waveguide power are called waveguide heroes. Only those with strong power to control dragons are called dragon controllers. Such people are so rare that they almost only exist in legends. But Mirong Shui did not expect that Wang Lu actually had the power of waveguide and the power of dragon control at the same time. Isn't this too perverted? Chapter 78. Love Restaurant, Doubles Match. Wang Lu just returned Dratini to Mirong Shui. Unexpectedly, Dratini immediately crawled back and rubbed on Wang Lu's arm with great attachment. While Mirong Shui was speechless, she was also completely convinced. Forget it, he has the power to control the dragon, I can't compete with him. Mirong Shui sighed lightly, at least she knew that Wang Lu would not take away her Dratini. That's enough. Since Dratini likes him so much, let him stay with him for a while. Cute little guy, this is for you. Seeing that Dratini liked him so much, Wang Lu smiled, took out a pair of sooth bells, and tied them around Dratini's neck. After that, if Dratini moves slightly, a ding-a-ling ring sound will be heard immediately. This kind of ringtone can not only improve the favorability of pets, but even humans will feel very comfortable listening to it. Wang Lu, thank you. Mirong Shui thanked her quickly. She is someone who knows the goods, and sooth bell is not cheap, starting at $1 million. She didn't expect Wang Lu to offer such a valuable present. Originally, she was embarrassed to accept it. But Wang Lu didn't give it to her. Instead, sent it directly to Dratini. Even if she wanted to refuse, she couldn't find any good excuse. After a period of time, Cao Li 703 gradually became familiar with Charizards, and the speed increased accordingly. Finally, before dinner, we visited Lingyun City. Lingyun City is also very prosperous. Like Xianyuan City, it is also a first-tier city in the southern region. Otherwise, there would be no gym in Lingyun City. Good. There are too many large and small cities in the southern region, the number exceeds 100. And only large cities, or first-tier cities, have gymnasiums. Wang Lu, I know Lingyun City very well, let's go to Love Restaurant for lunch, the cream cake there is very delicious. After getting along for a while, Mirong Shui's affection for Wang Lu increased sharply, and she also called Wang Lu a lot of salation. As for Mirong Shui, this is a proof of closeness. She has been taught too strictly since she was a child, if the relationship is not good to a certain level, she would not dare to do this to salation. For example, her name is Cao Li, and she still has the word classmate. Cream cake. Wang Lu couldn't help frowning, and Dratini, who was lying on his shoulders, also frowned like him. To be honest, Wang Lu doesn't hate cakes, but he hates cream. He finds it too greasy and can't stand it. But seeing Mirong Shui's expectant look, Wang Lu didn't have the nerve to refuse. Wang Lu thought to himself, in such a big restaurant, there should be no other food besides cream cake, right? Love Restaurant. After Cao Li positioned himself, he drove the dark blue Charizard X and drove all the way. Wow, what a cool supercar! Wow, what a handsome little brother! Wow, what a beautiful lady! Wow, what a cute Dratini! Looking at the face, they should not be from our Lingyun City, but their identities are definitely not simple. After arriving at Love Restaurant, Wang Lu's group, including the luxury car Charizards, immediately attracted the attention of a large number of diners. Love Restaurant is an upscale restaurant away from the hustle and bustle of the city. It is surrounded by flowers, trees, and pools, as if sitting in a beautiful garden. The diners here are also quite advanced. After all, if you don't have a little money in your pocket, you really dare not spend here. However, even though the diners here are quite high class, they were all shocked when they saw Wang Lu and his party. Several distinguished guests, hello. The owner of this love hotel is a couple, and at this moment, they also came out to welcome them in person. Right now, our Love Restaurant is holding an event. Several VIPs, if you can beat our couple in the doubles match, all the consumption will be free. If our couple wins by chance, several VIPs will have to pay double the fee. Of course, this event is not mandatory, whether to participate or not is entirely up to the honored guests to decide. The chubby boss, while explaining the content of the event, looked at Wang Lu and his group with a smile. Wang Lu himself didn't care, so he looked at Mirong Shui and asked, how? Mirong Shui smiled and said, of course I want to participate. I used to come here alone, Now I have the opportunity to eat the overlord meal, how can I miss it? You are quite economical. Wang Lu couldn't help laughing. Of course, even if there is a fee, Wang Lu, as a man, will naturally pay the bill, and there is no need to spend Mirang Shue's money. So, the two of you plan to participate in the event. Hearing this, the fat boss and his gentle wife looked at each other and smiled. Outside the door of Love Restaurant is the battlefield. There are also dining areas on both sides of the battlefield. Diners who like to watch Pokémon battles will like to sit outside to eat. Those who don't like it will naturally sit in the restaurant. Go, my mate, Snorlax. The fat boss sent out his own Pokémon first, followed by the lady boss, go, doctor. Quite interesting. The fat boss sent out Snorlax, and the beautiful boss lady sent out the beautiful Gardevoir. Snorlax. Attribute, normal. Level 52, elite. Qualification, orange. Gardevoir. Attribute, superpower plus fairy. Level, 44, elite. Qualification purple. Glancing at the attribute panels of Snorlax and Gardevoir, Wang Lu smiled inwardly. This couple is quite capable, no wonder they dare to hold such an event. It's a pity that you have encountered a hard stubble today. Go, Dragonite. Go, Doran Barto. Wang Lu and Mirang Shui sent out their own Pokémon at the same time. Dest. For a moment, many spectators at the scene couldn't help but gasp. Dragonite and the multi-dragon Barto are undoubtedly powerful quasi-gods. On weekdays, it is rare to see it. Not to mention, appearing in pairs like this. Oh my god, Dragonite and the Dragon Barto, what the hell are they? It's scary. Our Lingyun secret realm in Lingyun City will be opened soon. Recently, there have indeed been many elite trainers from other places coming, but the pair of boys and girls in front of us must be among those foreign trainers. Belongs to the top level. It's terrible, haha, the fat boss and the boss's wife are going to lose money again this time. After the surrounding diners were shocked, they started teasing the fat boss and his wife again. After all, they have basically suffered losses in recent times when they started this activity. Chapter 79. The Trial of Love, DD Lariat. Dragonite. Wang Lu, has your Dragonair finally evolved? Mirang Shui said with some surprise. She knows that Wang Lu's Dragonair is very strong. Now that it has evolved into Dragonite, its strength must have been greatly improved. At the moment, Mirang Shui felt the strong Hideki force coming from Dragonite. Compared to her own trump card Duolong Bart support, it was not bad at all, even a little bit stronger. Such a discovery shocked Mirang Shui and made her admire Wang Lu even more. Wang Lu nodded, full of confidence in his heart. Today's Dragonite is really strong. At this time, Dratini on Wang Lu's shoulder looked at Dragonite's tall and strong body with a look of admiration and longing in his eyes. Young man, you are very strong, but our husband and wife will not give up easily. The fat boss and the lady boss looked at each other, and smiled at Wang Lu and Mirang Shui. Their husband and wife run this caring restaurant, and they have already accumulated a lot of wealth, and they are not short of money at all. Now this event is not for making money, but for better interaction with VIPs. Therefore, they are in a good mood. No matter what rival they encounter, they will fight with all their strength, even if they lose, it doesn't matter. If their rival happens to be a couple, then their tactics will change accordingly, so as to find ways to deepen the relationship between the couples. Obviously, the relationship between the fat boss and his wife is very deep. Otherwise, they would not have opened this caring restaurant. On this basis, they also hope that lovers in the world will eventually get married. Up, Snorlax, use Darkest Lariat on Doran Bartle. The fat boss ordered. Evil energy gathers. Heard the words. Snorlax's rapid spin got up, and in the blink of an eye, it turned into a huge red spinning top. Just like that, it rammed towards the opposite Doran Bart. At this time, the fat boss and the lady boss looked at each other, with inscrutable smiles on their faces. To know. Darkest Lariat is a unique move of the evil department. For Dragonite, its effect is normal. But for the Duolong Barto who has ghost type, the effect is outstanding. Fat boss uses Darkest Lariat on purpose to order to attack Mirang Shui's Duolong Barchuo, hoping that Wang Lu will show a gentleman's demeanor and let Dragonite help Duolong Barchuo. At least in his opinion, Wang Lu will definitely do this. After all, this is a great opportunity to get closer to the girl around me. At this time, Mirong Shui also sneaked a glance at Wang Lu, feeling a little uneasy. She has been to this caring restaurant several times. Although she came alone every time, she also knows the routine of the fat boss and the proprietress very well. There is also a purpose in her suggestion to come here to eat. She wants to take the opportunity to pry and see if Wang Lu has that kind of meaning for her. It's a pity that she simply thought too much. Not only her, but also the fat boss and the proprietress, all looked down on Wang Lu too much. They had no idea that Wang Lu was a straight Orberg man. Wang Lu did not order Dragonite help to block Bart from the beginning to the end. As a result, Doran Bart was knocked out by Snorlax's Darkest Lariat, and because of the outstanding effect, he even cried out in pain. Ah! See such a scene. The fat boss and the lady boss looked at each other, their eyes full of doubts. Dragonite, Thunder Punch! Wang Lu gave an order, Dragonite flashed out, and with lightning speed, a Thunder Punch hit Snorlax in the stomach. Lightning flashed all over his body, and severe pain hit him. Snorlax's face was filled with pain for a moment, he wailed, and he was completely unconscious and received medical treatment. What, my Snorlax? The fat boss was immediately shocked. He never expected that Wang Lu's Dragonite was so powerful that it could kill his proud Snorlax in one move. Wang Lu, why didn't you just let Dragonite help Duolong Bart to resist Darkest Lariat? Looking forward to it in vain. At this time, Mirong Shui was very disappointed, and she questioned Wang Lu shyly and angrily. However, her tone was too gentle when facing Wang Lu. It was obviously a question. But it looks like he is in charm. Ah! Wang Lu was startled, looked at Mirong Shui, and said calmly, an attack of this level should be easily avoided with the speed of Duolong Barchuo, right? It's up to you to direct Zhu Ke. You. Mirong Shui was speechless. Ha. Some couples who understood around him couldn't help but laugh in good-natured ways. At this time, the fat boss took back the Snorlax and looked at the landlady with a wry smile, honey, the rest is up to you. The landlady nodded and shouted to Gardevoir, use Draining Kiss on Doran Barto. Heard the words. Gardevoir immediately blew a kiss to the Dragon Bart, and the blowing kiss turned into a magic heart and flew towards the Dragon Bart. Draining Kiss is a fairy-type skill, and it has an outstanding effect on Dragon-type Pokémon. Not only that, while Draining Kiss deals damage, it will also absorb half of the damage and convert it into its own physical strength. However, Mirong Shui did not dare to count on Wang Lu this time, so she became serious. Duolong Bart, after avoiding it, use the Shadow Ball. Call out. Duolong Barto's speed is indeed very fast. As soon as Mirong Shui finished speaking, Duolong Barto quickly floated out, easily avoiding the Draining Kiss, while launching a black Shadow Ball, which hit Gardevoir hard. Outstanding effect. Doran Bart used a Shadow Ball to directly kill Gardevoir. So strong. These two people are really too strong. We know the strength of the boss and the boss's wife very well. Even though they have always lost in recent times, most of them can fight back and forth with those elite trainers. However, facing this couple, he was killed instantly. Haha, are you sure they are a couple? Isn't it? The man is tall and handsome, and the woman is pretty and cute. They are a match made in heaven. At this time, not only the fat boss and the proprietress, but also many diners at the scene could not help but be surprised. In their opinion, Wang Lu and Mirong Shui were too powerful. If you know this, you will know that they are just participating in the activity. Those who didn't know this would have thought they were kicking the gym. Two distinguished guests, congratulations. Next, you and your friend can dine in our restaurant for free. Competition is over. The fat boss and his wife came over, looked at Wang Lu and the other three, and said enthusiastically. Thank you, boss, mom. While thanking Wang and Lu, the three of them walked into the restaurant to eat. Even if it's free, you don't have to eat so much, you'll gain weight. Hi, I need you to take care of it. Looking at Mirong Shui's table full of cream cakes, Wang Lu's scalp went numb and he couldn't help but persuade him. I don't know why, but I was almost killed by Mirong Shui's white eyes. Chapter 80. Grandpa. I am trash. After dinner, Wang Lu and his group came to Lingyan Gymnasium, but they didn't expect it to be overcrowded. Because the Lingtian secret realm is about to open. So recently, many foreign trainers have come to Lingyun City, and the Lingyun secret realm has not been officially opened, and it will take a few days to wait. Because of this, some trainers came to challenge Lingyun Gym because they were bored. Damn it, Mega Charizard X! Where is this young lady from? Humph, it's just a wasteborn with a golden key in its mouth. It's nothing but good luck. As soon as Charizard stopped at the entrance of the gymnasium, it attracted the attention of those trainers, and they began to talk about it. Who are you calling trash? Seeing that the boss and his future sister-in-law, oh no, his future second sister-in-law were being insulted, Cao Lai instantly knew that his chance to show off had come. He got out of the car and pointed at the red comb head in the crowd and shouted. The red coxcomb head didn't hesitate at all, and said with a sneer, I'm talking about you two masters. As for you, you're just a stinky driver, and you're no better than a trash. Cao Lai was taken aback. He didn't expect the opponent to be so fierce. For a moment, he was rather timid, and directly moved Wang Lu out, hurry up and apologize. Otherwise, my boss will get angry, and you can't eat and walk around. Wang Lu watched from behind and shook his head again and again, complaining about Cao Lai, how can you be such a younger brother, it is too useless to move out of the boss every now and then. But Wang Lu can also understand Cao Lai, after all, Cao Lai's strength is normal, and his family background is also very normal, so he really doesn't dare to cause too much trouble. Thinking like this, Wang Lu also began to consider helping Cao Lai improve his strength. It just so happened that the Lingyun secret realm was about to open, Wang Lu thought, then help Cao Lai catch a few more Pokémon in the secret realm and let him improve his strength. After all, he is also his little brother, if he is too weak, then he will lose face. Okay, Cao Lai, you step back first. Wang Lu couldn't stand it anymore, so he said. Seeing Wang Lu go out in person, Cao Lai breathed a sigh of relief, thinking that he is really useless, trying to get ahead, but embarrassing the boss. At this time, Wang Lu got out of the car and walked up, took out a luxury ball and smiled at the red comb head, since everyone is a trainer, let's use Pokémon battle to solve the problem. Whoever loses will shout loudly in front of everyone. Said he was trash. TCH, what is this? The red coxcomb head sneered and said, whoever loses will not only have to call himself a waste in front of everyone, but also call the other party grandpa. Boy, do you dare? Haha, good. Wang Lu laughed immediately. The race started right on the side of the road. Wang Lu and the red coxcomb stand opposite each other 10 meters apart. Boy, let's make a quick 1v1. Since you are young, I will give you a chance for nothing. The red coxcomb had a confident smile on his face, and immediately took out a pokeball and threw it out, go, fire monkey. White light flashed. A strong and fiery monkey with a black belt hanging from his waist suddenly appeared in front of the red coxcomb head. Hot monkey. Attribute, fighting. Level 56, elite. Qualification, orange. Oh, but he still has some strength, no wonder he dared to do such a power trip. Glancing at the attribute panel of Hot Monkey, Wang Lu smiled slightly and sent Haxorus directly to play. Following the appearance of Wang Lu's Haxorus, some audience members gasped. Flash Haxorus! Shiny Pokémon! Damn, you are really awesome! You are worthy of being the young Mega who drives Mega Charizard X. That coxcomb head is obviously over-pretending, and he is hitting the wall. 666, that Flash Haxorus has such a strong momentum, his momentum alone can already overwhelm the rooster-headed fiery monkey. Haha, it's not the same level at all. You don't need to hit the coxcomb head, you've already lost. Some people at the scene were all shocked by Wang Lu, and they also laughed at the coxcomb head. The coxcomb head looked ugly. He never expected that Wang Lu actually owned shiny Pokémon. Only now did he realize that he had hit a brick wall. But the deal was done, and naturally he didn't want to admit defeat and call Wang Lu grandpa. At this point, we can only fight with all our strength. Go up, fiery monkey, use brick break. Coxcomb head gave an order, and the fiery monkey immediately rushed out, gathering the fighting energy, making his palms glow intensely, and slashed at Haxorus on the opposite side. Wang Lu laughed at the attack from the fiery monkey and said, Haxorus, block it and use Dragon Claw. Heard the words. Haxorus immediately crossed his claws and blocked. There was a bang sound, and the fiery monkey's hand knife struck. As a result, Haxorus did not move at all. What? Coxcomb Head couldn't help being shocked. No matter how strong that Haxorus is, he is very confident in the attack power of his fiery monkey. Unexpectedly, this time, it had no effect at all. Wang Lu's Haxorus has become stronger again. How did he train? Mirong Shui also stood beside Cao Lai and watched the battle. At this time, her eyes flashed in disbelief. Dragon Claw. The violent dragon energy gathers. I saw a dazzling light flashing above Haxorus Dragon Claw for an instant, and even in that light, Haxorus Dragon Claw directly became several times larger. Boom! Haxorus struck out with his claw, knocking the fiery monkey away fiercely, and then fell heavily to the ground, completely unconscious. Damn it, it's too strong. This Haxorus is at least the gym leader level. It's invincible. The key is shiny Pokémon. It's handsome and strong. It's so cool. My little brother is so awesome. He's handsome, strong, and rich. He's so perfect. It's a pity that he already has a female companion. Otherwise, if you want me to give you the money, I'm willing to do it. After seeing the powerful strength of Haxorus, some of the surrounding audience exclaimed in various ways. Especially some girl trainers, their eyes almost shine when they look at Wang Lu. Grandpa! I'm a waste. The little 4.5-year-old is too blind to see the mountains. Please forgive me. Ha 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 ha. Suddenly, Coxcomb Head shouted, and he was immediately greeted by a lot of laughter, which made him feel very humiliated. But he can't do it without shouting. In his opinion, Wang Lu was too strong, and his identity and background were absolutely unparalleled. This was something he couldn't afford to offend. Wang Lu didn't cause trouble for him and didn't care too much about his previous arrogance, which was already very rare. Okay, it's none of your business. Wang Lu waved his hand. Originally, Wang Lu was not angry either. After all, he knew from the beginning that the other party was just a small person, and he couldn't commit the crime. Now a little lesson is enough, it was not a big deal in the first place. Heard the words. Coxcomb Head immediately felt as if he had been granted amnesty and ran away as if running away. Chapter 81. Challenging Lingyan Gymnasium. After smoothing the Coxcomb Head, Wang Lu and his party planned to enter the gym. Unexpectedly, the trainers watching here all took the initiative to give up their positions. Wang Lu didn't bother to be polite and walked in directly. Mirong Shui and Cao Lai followed closely. This Lingyan Gym is a fighting gym, and the gym trainer is actually an underage girl. She looked to be 15 or 16 years old at most, and her appearance was quite pretty. Maybe it's because of practicing under the scorching sun all day. Her skin was deeply tanned. Yes, it looks like the colored beans in Pokémon Sword and Shield. They are all fighting gym trainers, they all have healthy wheat-colored skin, and they are all underage girls. When Cai Do saw Mirong Shui coming in, she looked happy and said with a smile, Sister Mirong, you have obviously got Batch, the leader of our gym, but I didn't expect that you are still willing to take the time to see me. You really good. Heard the words. All the trainers around could not help but be surprised. Turn out to be. This young lady is not only beautiful and has an outstanding temperament, but her strength is also at its peak. Ignoring everyone's shock, Mirong Shui looked at Wang Lu and blinked a little. Wang Lu ignored it directly. It's nothing. In Wang Lu's view, Mirong Shui's strength was already very strong, and it was not surprising that he defeated one or two gym leaders. There is also the Thunder Sword. Mirong Shui and Lei Jian, one of them is the daughter of elite, and the other is the grandson of retired elite. Although they are all freshmen, their strength is much stronger than those trainers who have been struggling in society for many years. The strength of the museum owner is inherently strong and weak, and the range is not very large. The main Pokémon of ordinary hall owners, normal, is only over 60 levels, and there are only 1 or 2 trump card Pokémon with levels over 70. Some high-level gym owners are retired elites. Most of their abilities are unfathomable, and they might have championship-level Pokémon in their hands. As for the real champions, needless to say, the main Pokémon, all champion levels. Trump card Pokémon, Master. Of course, that kind of person is rare. Sister-in-law Yang, is your host here? I want to challenge your host. Wang Lu smiled at Kaidu. Of course, her name is not Kaidu, but Wang Xianai. Wang Xianai wiped her nose and said with a smile, the owner of the museum is my father. If you want to challenge my father, you must pass me first. Obviously, this little girl is extremely bellicose. Especially, Wang Lu came with Mirong Shui. She was well aware of Mirong Shui's strength, and she expected that Wang Lu and Mirong Shui would come together, and their strength would not be too bad. Therefore, facing Wang Lu, she directly showed strong fighting spirit. Good. Wang Lu readily agreed. Since the other party is looking for abuse, how can he not abuse him? 10 minutes later. Linqian Gym Stadium. Wang Lu and Wang Xianai stood opposite each other. There were a lot of spectators for this match. There are Wang Lu's friends, Mirong Shui and Cao Lai. There are gym disciples from Linqian Gym. There are also a large number of external trainers. In addition to these people, there was also a bearded man wearing a red Taoist uniform. This person's name is Wang Zhong, he is Wang Xianai's father, and he is also the owner of the Linqian Gym. The next game is the gym challenge between challenger Wang Lu and gym trainer Wang Xianai. The rules of the competition are 3v3, and only the challenger has the right to change Pokémon during the game. Now, please ask gym trainer Wang Xianai to send out Pokémon first. As soon as the referee finished speaking, Wang Xianai immediately sent out Pokémon. White light flashed. A strong Machoke suddenly appeared on Wang Xianai's playing field. Machoke. Attribute, Fighting. Level 38, Elite. Qualification Purple. The qualifications are pretty good, but the level is too low. Glancing at Machoke's attribute panel, Wang Lu thought to himself. As for Machoke, having purple qualifications is pretty good. After all, Machoke can evolve into Machamp again. So, since this Machoke has purple aptitude, it will probably have orange aptitude when it evolves into Machamp. What a pity! What a great training opportunity, but I don't have any new Pokémon to train. Wang Lu secretly thought it was a pity and sent out the main Pokémon, Go, Haxorus. What, it's Flash Haxorus. Many foreign trainers at the scene have already met. At this time, Wang Xianai and the other gym disciples could not help but be shocked. It's not just them. Even the owner of the hall, Wang Zhong, looked shocked. He came to watch the game after hearing that someone wanted to challenge the gym owner. If Wang Lu was too weak, he would directly refuse. Good. In this world, the museum owners have a high status and can directly refuse the challenge of the challenger. Of course, if the challenger is really strong and sincere, they normal will not refuse. The people Miss Mirong brought are indeed not simple. Wang Zhong thought to himself, looking at Wang Lu, fighting spirit gradually emerged in his heart. At this time, on the playing field, forced by the powerful momentum of Haxorus, Wang Xianai's Machoke actually started to tremble. Its combat power, which was not very strong in the first place, has been weakened again. This is the effect of strong Hideki's potential, which is like intimidating ability. The weaker the Pokémon, the easier it is to be frightened by its aura, and its combat power will decline. Don't be afraid, Machoke, use sword dance to increase your momentum first. Wang Xianai gave the order. Machoke immediately clapped his hands, and at this moment, a circle of energy sword array appeared around it. This greatly increases its power and momentum. The same skill, used by different Pokémon, will produce different effects. Tian Lu doesn't like that kind of sword dance. He still prefers Haxorus's sword dance. If you practice it well, it can also be used as a defensive skill. Wouldn't it be beautiful to defend while increasing strength and momentum? Haxorus, use Dragon Claw, remember to be gentle. Wang Lu shouted directly. Wang Xianai suddenly exploded with anger, only feeling that her strength was insulted. Under Wang Lu's instructions, Haxorus movements were really light, probably only using half of his normal strength, but even so, he still killed Machoke with one move. Machoke is out of combat. The referee announced relentlessly. Damn, come back Machoke! Angrily, Wang Xianai took Machoke back, and immediately sent out a second Pokémon, Go, Ursaring. White light flashed. A bear-type Pokémon that stood in the shape of a human with a circle pattern on its chest, which looked very ferocious, suddenly appeared on Wang Xianai's arena. Chapter 82 Crushing. Haxorus is strong, 1 wears 3. Ursaring. Attribute, Normal. Level 36, Elite. Qualification Purple. Although Ursaring is a normal Pokémon, but it has high adaptability to the fighting department, and it is very good at learning fighting skills. Therefore, many trainers who are good at using fighting Pokémon are also willing to train an Ursaring. Glancing at Ursaring's attribute panel, Wang Lu couldn't help but smile, and said lightly, Haxorus, use Slash. As soon as he finished speaking, Haxorus flashed out, and the sharp dragon claw directly left 3 wounds on Ursaring's body. Ouch! Ursaring let out a cry of pain and passed out directly. Ursaring is out of combat. The referee waved the red flag and announced the result. Hiss, so strong! Now most of the disciples in the gymnasium can't help but gasp at this moment. The master of the gymnasium has many disciples. Those who have already graduated are not counted. That is to say, those who are still practicing in the gymnasium, among them, the strongest disciples can serve as the trainers of the gymnasium. That is Cai Do, oh no, Wang Xianai, even though she is still a girl of 15 or 16 years old, she is already the strongest existence in Linqian Gym besides her father Wang Zhong. At this time, the other gym disciples were shocked. Although the junior sister is young, she is very strong, and she is not inferior to other gym trainers in the southern region. But he didn't expect that he would be so crushed by this challenger named Wang Lu right now. Come back, Ursaring! While taking Ursaring back, Wang Xianai sent out the third and last Pokémon. I'll leave it to you in the end, go, Onion Ranger! White light flashed. A snow-white Farfetch'd appeared with an onion stick sword and onion stick shield. Onion Rangers! It is Fighting Duck, the evolution form of Farfetch'd in the original Galar region. The onion stick sword in its hand is a portable booster. After being carried by Farfetch'd or Onion Ranger, it will be very easy to hit the opponent's vitals, thus causing higher damage. Onion Rangers. Attribute, Fighting. Level 42, Elite. Qualification, Orange. Since this Onion Ranger has the qualification of being chosen by the Orange Heaven, and it has the highest level among the 3 Pokémon, then there is no doubt that it is Wang Xianai's trump card. Unfortunately, this level of trump card, in the eyes of Wang Lu, is still too weak. Haxorus, use Dragon Claw! Wang Lu ordered. With a sound of, Haxorus flashed out. The violent dragon energy gathers. I saw that Haxorus's Dragon Claw instantly burst into intense white light, and the size of the Dragon Claw tripled, and it slammed fiercely at the Onion Ranger on the opposite side. With the presence of trump card, Wang Xianai also seemed to show a confident smile. Onion Ranger, block it, use Iron Defense. Heard the words. Onion Ranger raised the onion stick shield without saying a word, and at the same time gathered steel energy, making Orberg-like light appear on the onion stick shield. At this moment, the defense of the Onion Rangers skyrocketed. Boom! However, Haxorus Dragon Claw slapped on the onion stick shield. That force was still too strong, and it easily knocked the Onion Rangers into the air. There was a bang. I saw Kong Yubing fell heavily to the ground and passed out completely. The Onion Ranger has lost the ability to fight. The game is over, the challenger wins. The referee announced the result. So strong! At this time, Wang Xianai looked at Wang Lu, with admiration in her eyes. As a 15 or 16-year-old girl, she naturally admires the strong, especially the young strong, such as Mirong Xuet. But Mirong Xuet is also a Stephanie after all. And Wang Lu, cold, proud, tall and handsome, full of male hormone charm. For a moment, Wang Xianai was obsessed with it. Brother Wang Lu, next time, I will definitely beat you. Wang Xianai said with a smile while handing the badge of Linqian Gym to Wang Lu. Okay, I'll wait for you. Facing such a cute little girl, Tian Lu showed a gentle side. Subsequently, Wang Lu looked at Wang Zhong. Wang Zhong has a tall and straight figure, a hulking back, and a very powerful aura, and he is also wearing a distinctive Taoist uniform. When Wang Lu saw it, he knew that he was the gym master of Linqian Gym. Dad, brother Wang Lu is here to challenge you, don't lose. Wang Xianai walked towards Wang Zhong and said mischievously. Wang Zhong couldn't help but smile wryly. Does this unlucky child worship outsiders more than he worships his own father? After nodding to Murong Shuet, Wang Zhong came to the stadium, took Wang Xianai's previous position, stared at Wang Lu and said, "Young man, I am the owner of the stadium you want to challenge. 6v6 full battle, is it okay?" "No problem." Wang Lu nodded. "Although, the ancient pterosaur is not in hand. If you leave out Zapdos and Celebi, Wang Lu only has 5 pets now, but it doesn't matter. Wang Lu is confident, 5 against 6. Okay, refreshing." Wang Zhong also nodded, and then glanced at the referee. The referee understood and shouted directly, "The next match is the challenger Wang Lu, and the owner of the hall, Mr. Wang Zhong. The rules of the game are 6v6, halfway through, only the challenger has the power to change Pokémon. The game begins now." Wang Zhong glanced at Haxorus on Wang Lu's field, and said with a smile, "Young man, is your first Pokémon this Haxorus?" Wang Lu nodded lightly. Although Haxorus fought 3 games in a row, almost all of them were instant kills. To be honest, its physical strength was not consumed too much, and it could continue to fight. "Okay, that being the case, let's go, Macamp." The owner of the hall, Wang Zhong, immediately dispatched the first Pokémon, which is the evolved version of Haoli, the 4-armed Macamp. Macamp. Attribute, Fighting. Level 62, Master. Qualification, Orange. Preemptive Strike, Macamp, after bulk up, use Frozen Fist. Wang Zhong ordered. Wen Yanwei. Macamp tensed all the muscles immediately, and at this moment its attack and defense soared. Subsequently, Macamp quickly gathered the energy of the ice system, causing a icy air to rise from the front of his fist, and fiercely attacked Haxorus on the opposite side. "It's so powerful, it's worthy of being the owner of the gymnasium, and it's a powerful combo skill as soon as it comes up." Looking at the scene in front of him, the large number of foreign trainers on the scene were all shocked. Most of them are elite-level trainers, and they are strong or weak, but they are far inferior to the gymnasium owner. When they came here, they didn't expect to see the Hall Master Challenge, which was also a rare learning opportunity for them. Chapter 83. Do all of you rich people play like this? The skill proficiency is very high, but the speed is a bit slow. Looking at Macamp who was striding over, Wang Lu commented with a smile, and then said lightly, "Haxorus, after avoiding it, use Iron Tail." As soon as Wang Lu finished speaking, Macamp attacked. Unfortunately, Macamp's speed was a bit slow, and Haxorus easily dodged it. He turned around and hit Macamp hard with his long Orberg tail. Teach! Severe pain hit, Macamp couldn't help but scream in pain, and he took 3 consecutive steps back. So fast, and so strong. Seeing that his Macamp was knocked back by one move, Wang Zhong couldn't help being shocked. At this time, although Macamp has stabilized his body, he is still a little dizzy. This is obviously an additional effect of Haxorus's too strong attack power. Wang Lu smiled faintly and shouted, "Use Dragon Claw now." Heard the words. Haxorus spun around quickly, and when it stood firmly, golden light flashed under its feet. At this moment, its strength and momentum increased significantly. At the same time, Haxorus's Dragon Claw emitted white light. In the white light, the Dragon Claw surged 3 times in an instant, and wolfishly shot Macamp on the opposite side. Feeling the powerful power on Haxorus' Dragon Claw, Wang Zhong couldn't help being shocked, and shouted, "Macamp, smelling salts, hurry up and block it." Heard the words. Macamp shook his head vigorously, and Qing 920 immediately woke up. It immediately used bulk up again, tensing its muscles to block. Boom! However, Haxorus is still too powerful. One move, Dragon Claw, hit Macamp hard. That powerful force instantly knocked Macamp away. There was a bang. Macamp fell heavily to the ground, his eyes became whirlpools, and he passed out completely. Macamp has lost the ability to fight. The referee calmly announced the result. Holy shit! It's so strong! That Haxorus almost killed Macamp instantly. Then Macamp is the main Pokémon of the gym owner. In seconds. Damn it, is this the power of shiny Pokémon? It's so enviable. My little brother is so handsome. He is handsome, rich, and powerful. Who can resist this charm? 666. Seeing the scene in front of them, the audience exclaimed loudly. It's amazing. Mirong Shui couldn't help being shocked. Although last month, she had defeated Wang Zhong head-on and obtained the Ling Gym leader badge. However, she won very hard and reluctantly. Without Duolong and Imbor's final efforts, to turn the tide, she would probably have failed the challenge. But what about Wang Lu? It's so relaxed and freehand. She knew that Haxorus was far from Wang Lu's trump card. If Wang Lu used all his strength, it would be even more terrifying. Brother Wang Lu is so handsome. At this time, Wang Xianai held her face with both hands, like a normal flower, and looked at Wang Lu in a daze. Before, she still admires her father very much. After all, her father is also a gym leader and is very powerful. After that, she began to admire Mirong Shui. It was Mirong Shui who let her know that as Stephanie, she could also be so powerful. And now, Wang Lu was not only so powerful, but also so handsome. At this moment, she felt unable to extricate herself. Boss is really so strong. Even the owner of the hall can't resist him. Cao Lai looked at Wang Lu with a look of admiration. I thought to myself, if I could have 1/10, no, 1/100th of the strength of the boss, that would be very impressive. The young man is indeed young and promising, so what happens next? Go, Chavalan. Wang Zhong didn't pay too much attention to the defeat of the first Pokémon. He smiled slightly and immediately sent out the second Pokémon. White light flashed. Shavarang appeared on Wang Zhong's playing field. Its hands and feet seemed to be on springs, and could stretch and contract freely, making it very flexible. Chavalan. Attribute, Fighting. Level 63, Living Hall Owner. Qualification, Orange. Wang Zhong's Macamp has a very muscular upper body. Obviously, he specifically trained Macamp on strength and defense. From a game perspective, the only effort value is stuck on the attack power and defense power. As for speed, I don't pay too much attention to it. After all, a Pokémon like Macamp can't get any faster no matter how fast it is, it just uses its body to fight hard. If I can't bear it, I will die. If I can bear it, you will die. Macamp is such a simple and crude Pokémon. But Chavalan is different, Chavalan is too flexible, plus Wang Zhong gave Chavalan a special speed training, its speed is even faster. One slow and one fast, two completely different styles of play, this is Wang Zhong's consistent style of play, and it can often catch rival by surprise. At the beginning, Mirong Shui suffered a lot from him. Come back, Haxorus. After seeing Chavalan, Wang Lu decisively took Haxorus back. He doesn't think Haxorus can't win, he just wants to give other pets a chance to show, it's your turn, Dragonite. Woo! As soon as Dragonite came on stage, he couldn't help shouting, appearing very active. It has to be said that Dragonite, as a quasi-god, possesses great power, but at the same time has an extremely gentle personality. Dragonite is very down to earth. Even if it is a rookie trainer, I'm afraid it can be easily controlled. Because of this, Dragonite is extremely popular. In Wang Lu's previous life, he was affectionately called Fat by countless players. Holy shit, Dragonite! With the appearance of Dragonite, Ji Zhang was shocked. Countless viewers looked at Dratini on Wang Lu's shoulder, their faces were speechless, and the corners of their mouths twitched. No. You already have a Dragonite, do you want another Dratini? Do you rich people all play like this? Ah! All kinds of eyes were full of envy, jealousy, and hatred. It's a pity they don't know that the Dratini on Wang Lu's shoulder is not Wang Lu's own at all. First it was shiny Pokémon, and now it's Dragonite. It really deserves to be the challenger personally brought by Ms. Mirong, and it really isn't a normal character. Wang Zhong was shocked, but he didn't show it on his face, he shouted directly at Chavalan, Chavalan, use chain kick. Wang Zhong just finished speaking. Chavalan flew out like lightning, stretched his legs, and kicked fiercely towards the opposite Dragonite. Facing Chavalan's attack, Wang Lu calmly ordered, Dragonite, use Dragon Dance. Heard the words. Dragonite stomped its feet and easily flew up to soaring in the sky, avoiding Chavalan's kicking skills at the same time. In mid-air, Dragonite assist's wings slowly rotated. This is Dragon Dance. It's just that Dragonite's proficiency in Dragon Dance seems to be very low. Because of this, it takes a relatively longer time to complete the action of Dragon Dance. There's nothing we can do about it. As with everything in this world, practice makes perfect. Dragonite has never used Dragon Dance before, so now, it is naturally not proficient enough. Chapter 84. Museum Owner? Still rolling. Wang Zhong's eyes lit up, and he said, Chiron, use Focus Blast. Wang Zhong just finished speaking. Between Javelin's palms, a blue energy bomb gradually condensed. Yes, just like an aura sphere, but even more powerful than an aura sphere. Certainly. Aura sphere is fast and has a very high hit rate. As for Focus Blast, it is powerful but slow, and the hit rate is not so high. But right now, Dragonite is immersed in Dragon Dance, which is almost a fixed target. Wang Zhong was very experienced, so he naturally wouldn't miss this opportunity. Not only him, but even Chiron under his command understood it very well. It even stockpiled for a while, maximizing the power of Focus Blast as much as possible, before blasting towards Dragonite. There was a bang. Focus Blast hit Dragonite head-on. However, Dragonite seems to have no feeling, still spinning there. What a terrible defense! Wang Jun couldn't help but sweat on his face. Finally, Dragonite's Dragon Dance is over, which makes its power and speed skyrocket. Very well, Dragonite, use Wing Attack. Wang Lu ordered. As soon as the words fell, Dragonite flapped its wings and flew out quickly. In this instant, I saw its wings emitting a strong white light. In the white light, its small wings became several times larger in an instant. Carrying terrifying power, it flew sand and stones all the way, and ruthlessly bumped into Javelin on the opposite side. Passed. Feeling the power of the Dragonite wing attack, Wang Zhong couldn't help being shocked, and quickly shouted, "Get out of the way, Javelin!" However, he still underestimated the speed of Dragonite after Dragon Dance. As soon as he finished speaking, Dragonite used a pair of huge wings and pounced on Javelin. That powerful force directly knocked Javelin away. Javelin screamed in pain and fell directly to the ground, completely unconscious. Javelin has lost the ability to fight. The referee announced the result. Another instant kill, this guy is too awesome. Rival is the master of the gym. Awesome. One Dragonite and one Flash Haxorus. How great would it be if these two Pokémon were given to me? Okay, what are you dreaming about? There is everything in the dream. Ah, it's amazing, Dragonite is amazing. As Dragonite killed Javelin with one move, the audience began to shout again, extremely shocked. Come back to Savarang, let's go, Super King. Wang Dong immediately sent the third Pokémon to play. Super Power King. Attribute, Fighting. Level 65, Master. Qualification, Orange. Super King is very strong, has strong attack power and good tankiness, but his speed is very normal. Come back, Dragonite. Seeing the Super Power King, Wang Lu took Dragonite back directly. Damn, changing Pokémon again, what Pokémon will be next? At this time, countless viewers are looking forward to it. After all, Wang Lu had brought them too many surprises before, including rare Pokémon. Go, Mitsumi! The third Pokémon, Wang Lu, chose to send Mitsumi out. Milotic, Water, Golden Epic, Level 70, Quasi-Elite. Flash Milotic. Oh my god, who is that guy? The son of Elite? He can't be the son of the champion, right? Ah, Flash Milotic, I love it. The surrounding audience was shocked. Brother Wang Lu is so awesome, isn't he? He actually has Flash Milotic? Ah, Flash Milotic is so beautiful, I like it so much. Wang Xianai is a nymphomaniac, staring at Wang Lu, her beautiful eyes are full of shining little stars. At this time, Wang Zhong's face was also extremely solemn, although Mitsumi didn't have any strong aura, but because he was a shiny Pokémon, he didn't dare to underestimate it at all. Super Power King, use Focus Energy. Heard the words. Chao Li Wang took a deep breath, concentrating. In the next certain period of time, it will easily hit the enemy's vitals, thus causing higher damage. Mitsumi, use the Hydro Pump. As soon as Wang Lu gave an order, Mitsumi immediately opened his mouth wide and spit out a high-pressure Hydro Pump, and ruthlessly blasted towards the Kli King on the opposite side. In Wang Lu's view, Mitsumi's Hydro Pump is sure to hit the Super Power King, and at the same time, it can hit the Super Power King hard. After all, Pokémon like Super Power King is very bulky, and it is difficult for it to respond to long-range attacks. However, facing Mitsumi's attack, Wang Zhong shouted directly, "Super Power King, use arm thrust to block Hydro Pump directly." Bang bang bang! Chao Li Wang started to arm thrust up, while resisting the power of Hydro Pump. He was also repulsed by Hydro Pump again and again, and the soles of his feet plowed 2 deep ravines on the ground. What a powerful arm thrust! Wang Lu was surprised. However, Wang Zhong was even more surprised. What a terrifying Hydro Pump! Mitsumi, use disarming voice. With Wang Lu's order, Mitsumi immediately opened his mouth and fired sound waves, attacking the Super King. Because it is a sound wave, there is no entity at all, and it is very difficult for Super Power King to resist, so that it is completely hit by disarming voice. Disarming voice is a fairy type skill, and it is very effective for fighting type Super Kings. For a while, Chao Li Wang was full of pain. Now, Mitsumi, use the Hydro Pump. Wang Lu ordered again. Mitsumi spit out a high-pressure Hydro Pump again, hit the Super Power King fiercely, and the powerful force exploded, directly knocking the Super Power King to the ground. Super Power King lost the ability to fight. The referee announced, "Come back, Super King." The owner of the hall, Wang Zhong, took back Chao Li Wang and sent out a new Pokémon, which is already the 4th one. White light flashed. A giant panda with a human shape and a ferocious face appeared on Wang Zhong's arena. Pangoro. Attribute, Fighting plus Evil. Level 68, Master. Qualification, Orange. Wang Zhong's Pokémon are almost all orange aptitudes. To this, Wang Lu was not surprised. After all, Wang Zhong is also the owner of the gymnasium. Also, for Pokémon in its final form, having an orange aptitude is actually not such a big deal. The golden qualification is the natural moat. Even if it's just a light gold qualification, it can crush the orange qualification, and it's definitely not comparable to the orange qualification. However, in addition to mythical beasts and quasi-gods, it is extremely difficult for normal Pokémon to have golden aptitude, even if it is only light golden aptitude. Even, it is almost impossible. Unless, blood mutations, such as Flash, or Overlord. Otherwise, ordinary Pokémon want to have golden aptitude and a bloodline comparable to Legends, that is just a dream. P.S. I read that in the book review area, there are always big bosses complaining, saying that any supporting role has orange qualifications, purple qualifications, etc. I even feel that the protagonist is not as good as the supporting role. A little bit of content above, even if it is an explanation. Obviously, orange qualifications are nothing special, and there is a big gap between gold and even pale gold qualifications. In fact, this book has mentioned it from the very beginning. Qualification is the combination of species strength, individual value, ability, and personality. The most important thing is species strength. After all, it has the largest weight. Understand? As for the Pokémon in the final form of normal, the species strength can't be much lower, so it's normal to have orange aptitude. Divine Beast, Golden Start. Quasi-God, start with orange, the most rubbish is orange. Slightly better ones, such as Wang Lu's Dragonite, Mirong Bai's Dragonite, and Mirong Shui's Duolong are all pale gold. Flash Quasi-God, Gold. Flash Totem Quasi-God, Myth. Some people complain that the protagonist is rubbish. I am convinced. As long as the protagonist is the final form of Pokémon, starting with light gold, is this still rubbish? Chapter 85. How great would it be if he were my son? Come back, Mitsumi. As Wang Zhong sent out Pangoro, Wang Lu also took back Mitsumi and sent out the 4th Pokémon, Electivire. Pangoro, Fighting plus Evil, Orange chosen, level 68, Guild Leader. Electivire, Electricity, Golden Epic, level 75, Quasi-Elite. Faint. It's Flash again. Flash Electivire. This guy is invincible. All of them are extremely rare Pokémon. It's scary. Flash Haxorus, Dragonite, Flash Milotic, Flash Electivire. If these 4 Pokémon were to be sold, it would cost at least 10 billion, right? More than that. It's really scary. The key is that this guy is young and has huge potential. Damn, I can only say that it's lucky that he is a young man from our Xia kingdom. If he were from overseas, it would be troublesome. Little brother, 666. From now on, if you bring glory to the country, sister 720, I will marry you. Looking at Wang Lu's Electivire on the field, the audience was shocked again. At this time, Wang Zhong was also under great pressure. In his opinion, Wang Lu was simply more terrifying than Mirong Xuet. But Miss Mirong is the daughter of the contemporary elite in the Southern Territory. What is the identity of this young man? There is only one champion and the 4 elites in such a large Southern Territory. Counting those who have retired, how many more can there be? Although Wang Zhong did not say that he was friends with each of them, he at least knew them all. Even if others don't know him, he still has to know others, right? After all, those are the most famous and awesome few people in the vast Southern Territory. Not only them, but also their young master, young lady, and Wang Zhong basically knew each one of them and knew each one by name. He has never heard of Wang Lu? A rising star? How can one grow to this level without any family background? This talent is too terrifying. Wang Zhong's heart trembled. In his opinion, Wang Lu is too scary, too outstanding, too young, and his future is simply unlimited. How great would it be if he were my son? Wang Zhong sighed in his heart. Wang Zhong always wanted a son. However, he and his wife worked hard for half their lives, and they only gave birth to a little girl like Wang Xianai. If the son can't do it, the son-in-law can make do with it, Wang Zhong thought happily in his heart. Looking up, Wang Xianai, that little girl, was looking at Wang Lu with a look of infatuation. Wang Zhong smiled bitterly, but he supported it. However, whether the daughter can win it depends on her own ability. After all, her father must be dying. How can a mere gym leader compare with elite? Electivire, use brick break. In a daze, Wang Lu gave an order, and Wang Zhong was completely awakened. Wang Zhong quickly looked at it intently. I saw a strong white light emitting from the palm of Electivire, carrying a powerful force and rushing towards Pangoro. Seeing this, Wang Zhong couldn't help but raise his thick eyebrows and said with a smile, haha, if it's a competition of strength, my Pangoro will never lose. Pangoro, use arm hammer. Wang Zhong just finished speaking. Pangoro raised his right arm high, carrying a violent force, and slammed it down at Electivire. Boom! Brick break and arm hammer, 2 powerful skills, collided head-on, causing an explosion and smoke and dust. Waves of violent winds were set off like shock waves, sweeping out in all directions. Wang Lu and Wang Zhong couldn't help but stretch out their hands to block. When the smoke clears, Electivire is intact and has a proud smile on his face. Pangoro, on the other hand, had fallen to the ground, his eyes were swirling, and he was completely unconscious. Pangoro has lost the ability to fight. The referee announced the result. The referee, who was always calm, couldn't help but flash of shock in his eyes at this time. Because he knew that Pangoro was already an extremely powerful being among all the pets owned by Master Wang Zhong. Unexpectedly, facing that flash Electivire, he was still defeated. Pangoro has an evil attribute, was it affected by his brick break counter? Even so, the attack power of that Electivire is too terrifying. Wang Zhong was horrified, and while taking Pangoro back, he sent out the 5th Pokémon. From here, his trump card begins to appear. White light flashed. I saw a standing human-like Pokémon wearing a white GI and a black belt. It was red and looked very strong. Wrestling Ghost. Attribute, Fighting. Level 71, Quasi-Elite. Qualification, Orange. The Wrestling Ghost is Wang Zhong's second trump card. Although he only has orange qualifications, he has already reached the quasi-elite level and his strength is very high. So, are you going to change Pokémon again? I wonder what Pokémon it will be next. Looking forward to it. As Wang Zhong sent out his 5th Pokémon, the audience couldn't help but look at Wang Lu expectantly. In their view, according to Wang Lu's previous habit, he should also change Pokémon. Unexpectedly, Wang Lu did not choose to change Pokémon this time. Because, if we put aside Zapdos and Celebi, Wang Lu currently only knows 5 Pokémon. Just let Electivire fight against 2, and then send out Salamence to fight Wang Zhong's final trump card. Electivire, use Thunder Punch. Wang Lu ordered. Heard the words. Electivire suddenly flashed out, with lightning flashing on his fist, carrying a violent force, and fiercely blasted towards the wrestling ghost. Oh? Aren't you going to change Pokémon this time? Wang Zhong was startled, and then shouted, "Don't be afraid of the wrestling ghost, first use bulk up to block its attack, and then use vital throw." The voice just fell. The red wrestling ghost immediately bulged up his muscles, greatly increasing his attack and defense power, intending to resist Electivire's attack head-on. There was a bang. Electivire's thunder punch hit the red wrestling ghost hard, causing lightning to flash for a moment. Ouch! 4.7. The red wrestling ghost roared in pain, but his face was resolute and his momentum remained intact, and he actually worked hard. All I can say is that it is indeed Wang Zhong's trump card Pokémon. This red wrestling ghost is not at the same level as the several Pokémon Wang Zhong sent earlier. Now, use vital throw. Wang Zhong waved his hand, and the red wrestling ghost grabbed Electivire's arm, turned around suddenly, and used the momentum to directly throw Electivire away. With a bang, the monster wolf fell to the ground. "How about it, young man, this move of the wrestling ghost is very painful," Wang Chong said with a smile. But as soon as he finished speaking, Electivire jumped up. I saw it patted the dust on its body, as if nothing had happened. He even raised his fingers at the red wrestling ghost in a taunting manner, his eyes becoming unusually serious. Chapter 86. Compared with Wang Lu, Mirong Bai is simply a mediocre. What a scary Electivire! Looking at the safe and sound Electivire, Wang Zhong was horrified. All the time. He is very confident in the power of wrestling ghosts. Moreover, wrestler just used bulk up to increase his strength before using vital throw. Unexpectedly, it still had no effect. This can only show that the Electivire on the opposite side is too strong. At this time, Wang Lu gave an order, "Electivire, use thunder." Heard the words. Electivire immediately released an extremely violent thunder and lightning from his body, crushing the air all the way, carrying a terrifying power, and rushed straight towards the wrestling ghost on the opposite side. The berserk thunder struck, and the wrestler's face was solemn. So fast, so powerful. Wang Zhong was also startled and shouted quickly, "Get out of the way, you wrestling ghost!" Of course the wrestling ghost deliberately dodges. But it's still too slow. Boom! Thunder hit the wrestling ghost head-on. At this time, the wrestling ghost's physical strength was obviously exhausted, he was sweating profusely, and he was panting again and again. Huge pressure came over, and Wang Zhong's thick eyebrows 04 wrinkled like mountains. He quickly encouraged, "Hold on, you wrestling devil, use Zen headbutt." Psychic energy gathering. I saw a strange red light emanating from the wrestling ghost's body, like a rocket normal, with a force of longing, it slammed its hard head towards the Electivire fiercely. However, facing the attack of the wrestling ghost, Wang Lu calmly shouted, "Electivire, use protect." The voice just fell. Electivire immediately stretched out his hands and created a golden barrier, firmly blocking the wrestling ghost's Zen headbutt. "Use Thunder Punch now!" Wang Lu ordered again. You know, Pokémon's attributes are very particular. The reason why Pokémon is that attribute is because it has the highest suitability for that one or those two attributes. Therefore, when Pokémon uses this type of skill, the damage will be increased by 50%. Therefore, the attack surface is important, but if you use this type of skill when you have no way to counter the opponent, the power will naturally be the strongest. However, there are exceptions to all. Like Greninja from the transformable ability, or the Flame Trump card from the Freedom ability. For these two types of Pokémon, whatever skills they cannot use, their attributes will change accordingly. That is, no matter what skills they use, they all belong to this series of skills, and their damage will be increased by 50%. Therefore, these two types of Pokémon are extremely powerful, comparable to quasi-gods. Of course, whether it is freely transformable or free, they all belong to the hidden ability, which is the so-called Monty, that is, the ability in Mew, which is extremely rare. Much rarer than Hercules' Azumarill. After all, to Azumarill, Hercules is just an ordinary ability. Among 100 Azumarills, there are at least 40 Hercules. Of course, universality also has universal benefits. For ordinary trainers, universality means closeness to the people. Because of this, so many people like to drive Azumarill vigorously. As for Greninja and Flame Trump card, a 6th generation water-type samurai and an 8th generation fire-type samurai are rare Pokémon in themselves, and it is even rarer for Monty. Words in this real world. The free-changing Greninja and the Freeman's Flame Trump card are probably also Flash Pokémon, which are hard to come by. Boom! After Electivire perfectly blocked the Wrestling Ghost's attack with Protect, he immediately sent out Thunder Punch, a powerful force exploded, and directly sent the Wrestling Ghost flying. Oh! The Wrestling Ghost let out a muffled grunt, fell heavily to the ground, and passed out completely. The Wrestling Ghost is incapacitated. The referee announced. Come back to the Wrestling Ghost, I'll leave it to you in the end, go ahead, Macamp. Finally, Master Wang Zhong sent out the last Pokémon. Unexpectedly, it was Macamp again. But that Macamp was obviously different from other Macamps, because it turned out to be a totem Macamp. It was extremely tall and strong. Normal Macamp is only 160 centimeters tall. And that totem Macamp, at least 250 centimeters tall, is like a normal hill, with his 4 hands raised high, giving people an unparalleled sense of oppression. Macamp. Attribute, Fighting. Level, Level 75, Quasi-Elite. Qualification, Light Gold. Wow, it's Totem Macamp. It is indeed the owner's trump card Pokémon. It is truly extraordinary. In one word, awesome. The owner of the gymnasium, you are really awesome. As Totem Macamp appeared, the audience immediately exclaimed. Come back, Electivire. At this time, Wang Lu also took back Electivire, took out Salamence's luxury ball, and threw it directly. Let's go into battle, Salamence. Ho! As soon as Salamence appeared on the stage, he raised his head and roared loudly, erupting into a terrifying sound that swept through the entire exhibition hall like a violent wind. The terrifying aura displayed by Salamence for a moment actually far surpassed that of Totem Macamp opposite him. This immediately made Wang Zhong look shocked and unbelievable. Elite. How is this possible? And it's not just any elite. This is actually a Flash Salamence, Flash Quasi-God. Even among the elites, 360 is definitely the top one, even comparable to the champion. This young man is obviously so young, but after all. At this time, Wang Zhong stared at Wang Lu and Salamence, his face full of shock and disbelief. Take Mirongbai as an example, he is 23 years old this year. 3 years ago, when he was 20 years old, he directly won the Southern Region's annual Alliance Championship. Mirongbai is a well-known genius trainer in the entire Southern Territory. But even Mirongbai, at that time, didn't have even half an elite on hand. At the moment, Wang Lu is obviously younger than Mirongbai 3 years ago. However, Wang Lu already has an elite-level Pokémon. What's more, it's not Normal's elite-level Pokémon. Flash Quasi-God, among the elites, this is also the top, comparable to the existence of the champion. It's terrible, it's terrible. Compared with this young man named Wang Lu, Mirongbai is simply a mediocrity. Wang Zhong was shocked and looked at Wang Lu. At this moment, he did not dare to make any comments. Because he doesn't deserve it. On the other side, a crowd of spectators. Those foreign trainers, as well as a group of gymnasium disciples, stared at Salamence, all dumbfounded, all stunned, unbelievable. Chapter 87. The First Hall Master Batch, Flame Mountain Dungeon. Oh my god, Flash Salamence, this. Invincible, in my life, I have only seen the Flash Quasi-God once, and he was the champion of our southern region. But how old is this guy? Indeed, the potential is unmatched. 666. Little brother is so handsome, I love him. After everyone was stunned for a moment, they immediately became excited. Especially some female trainers, the nymphomaniac Normal, screamed loudly at Wang Lu. Mirong Shui frowned secretly, feeling that these girls were too unreserved. Brother Wang Lu is really handsome, even more handsome than my dad. Wang Xianai stared at Wang Lu in trance, her beautiful eyes full of shining little stars. Young man, you are very strong, but Macamp and I will not admit defeat. Just come here with confidence and boldness. Hall Master Wang Zhong looked at Wang Lu and said enthusiastically. As soon as he finished speaking, Totem Macamp also roared, keeping pace with it. You can tell at a glance that he has a deep bond with this Totem Macamp. Uncle, I won't be polite. Wang Lu smiled and nodded, then directly gave the order, "Come on, Salamence, use Dragon Claw." A whoosh sound. Salamence suddenly slapped the dual wing beat and flashed out. Salamence's wings are very large, and its wings account for much more of its body than Dragonite, so normally, its speed will be much faster than Dragonite's. At the same time, on one of Salamence's opalescent claws, a strong white light flashed at the same time, carrying a terrifying power, and slapped Macamp on the opposite side. Feeling the berserk power of Salamence, Wang Zhong's pupils shrank, and he said, "Macamp, fast bulk up, block it." Heard the words. Macamp tensed his whole body muscles immediately, and at the same time blocked a pair of dragon claws from Salamence with his forearms. Boom! However, even so, Macamp still couldn't stop Salamence's berserk power. I saw that Macamp was shot by Salamence's dragon claw, and he retreated again and again. The last one couldn't stand firmly, and fell heavily, causing a cloud of smoke and dust. Wang Lu followed with a smile. Being as old as he would naturally not let go of this opportunity in front of him. "Kill it, Salamence, use Dragon Breath." Heard the words. Salamence immediately opened his mouth wide, and the berserk Dragon Breath energy gathered rapidly. In the blink of an eye, Salamence spat out a black Dragon Breath, which slammed on Macamp's body like a black laser cannon. Boom! A terrifying explosion sounded, and amidst the flames, smoke and dust billowed up. When the smoke dissipated, I saw that Totem Macamp had fallen to the ground and passed out completely. Macamp loses the ability to fight. The game is over. Congratulations to the challenger for winning. The referee announced the result with great relief. Awesome, awesome. This year's Alliance Conference in Southern Region, if this buddy participates, it will be very interesting. Expect. The audience was shocked again. Many of them have already begun to look forward to how Wang Lu will make gust waves at this year's Alliance Conference in Southern Region. "Young man, this is Batch, the owner of Millennium Gym, and it is also the proof of defeating me." Wang Zhong walked over and handed a pitch black badge to Wang Lu. He smiled and said, "However, according to your strength, it is nothing to defeat me. You should use the 10 existing badges in the Southern Territory to defeat me. Just get them all." Wang Zhong admired Wang Lu very much. His expectation for Wang Lu is not only to participate in the Southern Region Alliance. He has greater expectations for Wang Lu. National Alliance. No, it should be the World Alliance. In his opinion, it would be a pity if such a young and promising strong man like Wang Lu does not challenge the world and make a name for himself on the world-class stage. Wang Lu took the badge, held it in his hand and said with a smile, "Uncle, that's exactly what I meant. You are just my first target. I will definitely win all the other 9 gym owners." Surprised by Wang Lu's rhetoric, many people at the scene couldn't help but gasp. Including Mirang Shued as well. You know, there are huge differences between museum owners. Some of the senior pavilion owners are retired elites. Even though their strength is not as good as active elites, they are still unfathomable. Mirang Shued never thought that Wang Lu would have such great ambitions. Even she herself only has Batch, the leader of Millennium Gym. As for Batch, the other gym owners, she just follows the fate and is far less determined than Wang Lu. Thinking of this, she couldn't help but feel a little ashamed, and at the same time admired Wang Lu even more. After Wang Lu got Batch, the owner of Millennium Gym, the group browsed around various scenic spots in Millennium City. En route, Wang Lu, Mirang Shued, Cao Lai also challenged some passers-by. Except for Wang Lu, Mirang Shued and Cao Lai each had their own collections. After all, Wang Lu's level is too high, and any casual hit will be an instant kill. Mirang Shued's level is also very high, but her Dratini is still a novice, and she can grow slowly. Night falls. After Wang Lu and his party visited the night market, they returned to the hotel. At this time, Wang Lu finally had time to start challenging the dungeon. Yes, from the moment he got the first Hall Master Batch, he had the authority to challenge the Flame Mountain dungeon. Now, enter directly. With a flash of white light, Tian Lu arrived alone in a hot volcano. The system minimap shows that this flaming mountain is also very large and has a lot of fire-type Pokémon. Wang Lu raised his eyes and scanned, and immediately found a circle of fire Pokémon, including Cyndaquil, Larvesta, Magcargo, Numel, and so on. But the level is generally not high, only about level 30. The level of the dungeon is getting higher and higher, but the main reason is that the level of the NPC is getting higher and higher, making it more difficult for Wang Lu to challenge. But in the dungeon, the levels of ordinary Pokémon are actually quite normal. Stop, Ponyta, stop! Wang Lu had just walked forward for a while when he saw a member of the Fire Rock team, leading a might hyena to pursue a Ponyta with all his strength. As for Ponyta, there are as many wild dogs on the roadside in this flame mountain. The reason why the member of the Fire Rock team deliberately pursued it was because that Ponyta was different, its body was burning with blue flames. Not bad, another Flash is immortal. Might hyena. Attribute evil. Level 58, Elite. Qualification, Orange. Ponyta. Attribute Fire. Level 42, Elite. Qualification, Orange. Might hyena and Ponyta, these two Pokémon are both orange selected. Their bloodline strength is the same, their growth ability is similar, but their levels are much different. Under Might Hyena's fierce pursuit, the Ponyta was covered in injuries and was panting. Although it was still running for its life, it was about to collapse. Wang Lu smiled slightly. Wang Lu naturally wouldn't leave this kind of thing alone, that's Flash Ponyta. Certainly. Even if it is just an ordinary Ponyta, Wang Lu will take action. After all, it is our duty to defeat evil forces like the Fire Rock team. Not to mention, Wang Lu still has to clear the dungeon. But just as Wang Lu was about to take action, a system prompt rang directly in his ear. Congratulations to the host for triggering the temporary mission in the instance and rescuing Ponyta. The reward, the power of the Vulcan. The power of Vulcan? Wang Lu's heart skipped a beat. What kind of awesome ability is this? Wang Lu was ready to take action. Now, the system's temporary tasks have been triggered, and there are rich rewards. Now, Wang Lu is about to take action. Go, Haxorus, kill it for me. Wang Lu pointed at Might Hyena over there and shouted at Haxorus. Ho! Haxorus roared when he heard this and rushed towards Might Hyena over there. The noise caused by Haxorus was too great, far exceeding that of the wild Pokémon here, so it instantly attracted the attention of the Fire Rock Elite and the Might Hyena. Boy, you're asking for death. Come on, Might Hyena, use the Shadow Ball. The elite of the Fire Rock team gave the order, and Might Hyena immediately spat out a black shadow ball and hit it hard at Haxorus, who was running towards him. As the shadow balls continued to hit his pupils, Haxorus did not dodge, but directly chose to shoulder it. With a bang sound, the shadow ball exploded a string of ember on Haxorus, but that was all. Haxorus seems to be intact. Use Dragon Claw. Wang Lu ordered. The violent dragon energy gathering, no AAO. For a moment, Haxorus's Dragon Claw emitted a dazzling white light and grew several times in size. Carrying a terrifying power, it struck hard at Might Hyena on the opposite side. However, facing Haxorus' attack, the elite of the Fire Rock team snorted disdainfully, with confidence in their eyes. Might Hyena, after avoiding it, used the destructive death ray. Heard the words. Might Hyena's figure flashed, and she immediately distanced herself from Haxorus. Unexpectedly. At this moment, Haxorus showed even faster speed and caught up with Might Hyena in less than a second. Immediately, the huge dragon claw was aimed at Might Hyena's face and greeted her fiercely. There was a bang sound. I saw that Might Hyena's entire body was directly knocked out by the dragon claw, and then she fell heavily to the ground and fainted from the pain. See such a scene. The elite of the Fire Rock team's eyes were stunned. Until this moment, he had just noticed that Wang Lu's Haxorus turned out to be a Flash Haxorus. Boy, you do have some strength, but do you know that I am the elite of the Fire Rock team? Staring at Wang Lu coldly, the Fire Rock elite's face was full of pride. Immediately, he took out 2 Pokeballs and threw them out. Go, Crobat, Volcano Camel. For a moment, Team Fire Rock Elite directly sent 2 Pokémon to the field. Chapter 88. Obtain the power of Vulcan. The 3 abilities will be sublimated accordingly. Crobat. Attribute Poison plus Flying. Level 60, Guild Leader. Qualification, Orange. Volcano Camel. Attribute Fire plus Ground. Level 62, Master. Qualification, Orange. Crobat is the evolved form of Golbat, and the Volcano Camel is the evolved form of Numel. The strength of these two Pokémon is very good, and their qualifications are not low. In terms of level, it has also reached the level of the museum owner. Don't worry, Ponyta, you will not be in danger as long as I am here. At this time, Ponyta seemed to have found support and hid behind Wang Lu and refused to come out. Moreover, due to the injury and the exposure to Astonish, it is now trembling uncontrollably. Wang Lu possesses the power of Wave Guide and is becoming more and more proficient. It was as if there were eyes on normal behind his back. Even if he didn't look back, he knew Ponyta's current situation very well. At that moment, I couldn't help but comfort Ponyta. At the same time, he also directly sent Mitsumi to fight. It's actually another shiny Pokémon, this kid. Team Fire Rock's eyes flickered, but his powerful strength made him full of confidence. Go, Crobat, use Air Slash on Milotic. Volcano Camel uses Flamethrower on Haxorus. Heard the words. Crobat immediately slapped the dual wing beat violently, releasing a series of sharp wind blades, crushing the air and blasting straight towards Mitsumi. At the same time, the Volcano Camel also grew its mouth, and sprayed out a pillar of high-temperature fire, burning the air all the way, carrying the terrifying high temperature, straight towards Haxorus. Mitsumi, use Protect to block it, then use Water Wave on Crobat. Haxorus, use Sword Dance to block. Wang Lu also ordered one after another, and his skillful appearance made the elite of the Fire Rock team feel nervous. Only then did he realize that Wang Lu was not an ordinary 983 boy, but an elite trainer who was just like him, or even stronger than him. There was a bang. I saw Mitsumi first using Protect to block all the air slash launched by Crobat, then spitting out a huge water ball, which directly blew Crobat to the ground. And the other side. Haxorus used Sword Dance and Rapid Spin, which not only greatly increased his strength and momentum, but also faintly danced with some strong winds. It's a pity that such strong wind can't stop Volcano Camel's flamethrower at all. As a result, Haxorus was directly hit by Volcano's flamethrower. Ouch! In the flames, Haxorus roared. Not only was it not injured, its aura became more ferocious. Crobat. Crobat was instantly killed by Mitsumi in a single encounter, and the Fire Rock elite couldn't help but be shocked. And the other side. Although the Volcano Camel hit Haxorus head-on, it had little effect. One of the two major trump cards has been lost, which puts the Fire Rock elite into a passive position every day. Very good, Haxorus, keep this momentum and use Dragon Claw. Wang Lu pointed at the Volcano Camel opposite and gave an order. Although, for the Volcano Camel of the Fire plus Ground attribute, Mitsumi's water skills, 4 times the damage, and mega effect are outstanding. But at this time, Haxorus was so powerful that Wang Lu naturally didn't want to disappoint it, so he directly chose to use it to decide the outcome with the opposite Volcano Camel. Madness! He sneered at Wang Lu's behavior. Originally, the elite of the Fire Rock team already felt that he was passive, but now after seeing Wang Lu's operation, he sneered and a confident smile appeared on his face again. Volcano Camel, kill it, use Lava Plume. As soon as he finished speaking, the Volcano Camel sprayed out blazing fire, causing damage to Haxorus while also making the scene filled with smoke, making the field of vision almost zero. Good. Because of skills, it is also a kind of blinding method. But unlike Normal's deception, this lava plume can also cause a lot of damage. If this happens a few more times, even if Haxorus has twice the fire resistance, he will still have to kneel down. The scene was filled with smoke and dust, but the faces of the elite members of the Fire Rock team were filled with confident smiles. Die. When the smoke from the scene dissipated, the smile on his face solidified again. At some point, the huge Volcano Camel fell to the ground, completely unconscious. What? How is this possible? No matter how powerful Haxorus is, how can it attack in the thick smoke? The elite of the Fire Rock team are completely high. He was completely unable to accept such a result. Idiot! At this time, Wang Lu sneered, and with a thought in his heart, a Qianwood Aura Sphere quickly formed on his hand. Aura Sphere, Wave Guide Hero. The elite of the Fire Rock team had some knowledge. In an instant, he knew what was going on. Looking at Wang Lu again, his face was filled with shock. Wave Guide Brave. Unexpectedly, this young man turned out to be the legendary Wave Guide Hero. I've hit a brick wall myself. Snort. Looking at the frightened look on the Fire Rock Team Elite's face, Wang Lu snorted coldly, without holding back, and directly threw the aura sphere in his hand towards the opponent. With a bang, the violent energy exploded, directly blowing that guy unconscious. It might even kill him directly. Ding! Congratulations to the host for completing the temporary task saving Ponyta and gaining the power of Vulcan. With the sound of the system prompt in the ear, Wang Lu only felt that another extremely powerful force, the power of flame, was born in his body. When Wang Lu obtained the power of Vulcan, the original power of Waveguide in his body, the power of Yulong also boiled. For a while, these three powerful forces echo each other, become more compatible with each other, and sublimate accordingly. Power of Waveguide, the fighting energy of pets under his command increases by 30%. Dragon Power, the dragon energy of pets under his command has increased by 30%. Vulcan Power, the fire energy of pets under his command increases by 30%. This. Wang Lu couldn't help being taken aback. Unexpectedly, when I gained new power, the first two powers also sublimated. This is too cool, too awesome. Fire affinity. At this time, Wang Lu's whole person is like a Vulcan, and also like a blazing fireball normal, which brings Ponyta inexplicable warmth. Wang Lu himself saved Ponyta, which made Ponyta have a lot of favor with him. But now, Ponyta's favorability, intimacy, and other degrees for Wang Lu all soared in an instant. Woo! I saw, with a bright smile on his face, Ponyta directly arched into Wang Lu's arms, and began to have fun. Haha, Ponyta, would you like to follow me? Wang Lu smiled and touched Ponyta's head, and asked gently. The flame on this Ponyta turned out to be a blue flame, which looks very beautiful. In this way, when it uses fire-type skills such as flamethrower, it should also have blue flames. In one word, handsome. Woo! Ponyta nodded repeatedly, fearing that if it moved a little slower, Wang Lu would not want it. Okay. Wang Lu then smiled, took out a luxury ball, and subdued Ponyta directly. After conquering, Wang Lu immediately released Ponyta again. At this time, Ponyta was injured all over his body. Although it is by Wang Lu's side, it can absorb the power of fire from Wang Lu's body and thus automatically heal his injuries. But this efficiency is slightly higher. In order to reduce his pain, Wang Lu directly took out the healing spray to treat his injuries. After a while, Ponyta recovered completely. Ponyta. Attribute Fire. Level 42, Elite. Qualification, Orange. Physical Attack Skills, Flame Charge, Takedown. Special Attack Skills, Flamethrower, Fire Spin. Change Skills, Agility. After taking a closer look at Ponyta's attribute panel, Wang Lu was quite satisfied, at least he had passed the qualifications. After evolving into Rapidash, it will become another golden epic. As for the relatively single skill possessed by this Ponyta, Wang Lu didn't pay much attention to it. After all, Ponyta, including Rapidash, has a relatively narrow attack surface, and they have a single skill, which is helpless. But it doesn't matter. Wang Lu also has a large number of skill machines in his hands. Ponyta is a fire Pokémon, and its biggest weaknesses are water, ground, and rock. Wang Lu rubbed his chin and thought. When it comes to water, electric skills are very good. The electric trick that Ponyta can learn is Wild Charge. Wang Lu directly took out a Wild Charge skill machine, put it on Ponyta's head and patted it, and Ponyta directly mastered Wild Charge. Wang Lu followed suit and let Ponyta learn multiple skills in succession, including the Grass-type Solar Beam, Sunlight Flame, and Solar Blade, and the Ground-type High Horsepower. Solar Beam and Solar Blade are both Grass-type ultimate moves. The difference is that Solar Blade is a physical attack, while Solar Beam is a special attack. But because it is a ultimate move, at Ponyta's current level, it will probably take a long time to release it. However, whether it is Solar Blade or Solar Beam, for ground and rock-type Pokémon, they are extremely counter skills, with 4 times the damage and a mega effect. As for the ground-type High Horsepower, it can also perfectly counter the rock-type Pokémon, which is very powerful. Pony. Attribute Fire. Level 42, Elite. Qualification, Orange. Physical Attack Skills, Flame Charge, Takedown, Wild Charge, High Horsepower, Old Beam. Special Attack Skills, Flamethrower, Fire Spin, Solar Beam. Change Skills, agility. Perfect. Taking another glance at Ponyta's attribute panel, Tian Lu nodded in satisfaction. Come back, Mitsumi, Haxorus. Wang Lu took Mitsumi and Haxorus back and moved on with Ponyta. On the way, Wang Lu also directed Ponyta to brush wild monsters on the roadside, to practice his hands, and to familiarize himself with the new skills he just mastered. Chapter 89. Ponyta Evolution, Rapidash. Magcargo. Attribute Fire plus Rock. Level 32, Elite. Qualification Purple. For the final form of Magcargo, it only has purple qualifications and is quite normal. You know, Wang Lu's Ponyta is not yet in its final form, it is already orange qualified. There is a huge difference between them. Ponyta, use high horsepower. Wang Lu gave an order. Heard the words. Ponyta immediately gathered all her strength, causing her whole body to glow with golden light, and slammed into the Magcargo. There was a bang. Ponyta's high horsepower hit the Magcargo head-on. At that moment, Magcargo showed an extremely painful expression, tilted his head, and fainted. Ground Conti Flame, Conti Rock. This move, high horsepower, is surprisingly useful against Magcargo. It does 4 times the damage and kills him instantly with just one move. Wild Charge, Solar Blade, Solar Beam. Next, Wang Lu made Ponyta familiar with different skills. Unfortunately, Rival was all Fire-type Pokémon, and these skills were not very easy to use. Ding, Ponyta has been upgraded, currently level 43, Elite. Not long. Under the command of Wang Lu, Ponyta defeated multiple rivals in succession and rose to the next level. At this time, Wang Lu and Ponyta also had enough tacit understanding, and Wang Lu felt comfortable commanding. So, Wang Lu stopped wasting time and started to speed up with Ponyta. Soon he met another member of the Fire Rock team at a narrow intersection. Team Fire Rock is on business, everyone else, get out of here. Might Hyena, use the Shadow Ball. The man waved his hand, and his subordinate Might Hyena spit out a Shadow Ball and threw it at Wang Lu. As expected of the Huoyan team, they attack players directly without respecting martial ethics. At this moment, Ponyta flashed and stood in front of Wang Lu with a whoosh sound. She directly used her body to help Wang Lu block the Shadow Ball. Woo! Ponyta couldn't help but cry out in pain. Obviously, the level of the Might Hyena opposite was too high, and this Shadow Ball caused a lot of damage to it. Ponyta. Obviously, without the support of extremely high favorability and intimacy, Ponyta would never be able to make this action. For a moment, Wang Lu couldn't help but be moved by Ponyta's loyalty when he looked at Ponyta's pain. Might Hyena. Attribute Evil. Level 58, Elite. Qualification, Orange. Fight, Ponyta, use Charge Attack. After glancing at the Might Hyena's attribute panel, Wang Lu felt that Ponyta could fight, so he directly issued the order. Woo! Ponyta responded quickly, and blazing flames burst out from her body. Just as Wang Lu had guessed before, it was indeed a blue flame. In an instant, Ponyta's entire body turned into a huge blue fireball, carrying terrifying heat, and slammed into Might Hyena on the opposite side. However, facing Ponyta's attack, the Fire Rock Elite just sneered. In his opinion, Ponyta is Ponyta, even a shiny Pokémon is vulnerable, kill it, Might Hyena, use Giga Impact. After speaking, Might Hyena's body flashed with golden light, carrying a powerful power as well, and she was knocked out fiercely. Boom! Ponyta's flame charge and Might Hyena's mega impact suddenly collided, causing a violent explosion in an instant, and smoke and dust rose up to 10 feet. Waves of strong winds were set off, like shock waves normal, sweeping out in all directions. Wang Lu and the elite of the Fire Rock team on the opposite side couldn't help but stretch out their hands to block. Soon, the smoke and dust dispersed. I saw Ponyta and Might Hyena wrestling. The two Pokémon were injured, but neither one wanted to fall. What? The elite member of the Fire Rock team couldn't help but shrink his pupils. He had no idea that a mere Ponyta could fight to such an extent with his high-level elite Might Hyena. The other side. Wang Lu's eyes lit up. There is no doubt that the power gap between Ponyta and Might Hyena, a mid-level elite and a high-level elite, is not too big, but there is indeed a certain gap. And this gap can be made up with Wang Lu's power of fire. Under Wang Lu's command, the fire energy in Ponyta's body increased by 30%. The fire energy alone is enough to rival high-level elites. Very good, next is flamethrower. Wang Lu ordered again. Heard the words. Ponyta immediately jumped back, and while pulling away from Might Hyena, he opened his mouth and sprayed out a pillar of blue fire, heading straight towards Might Hyena on the opposite side. Facing Ponyta's attack this time, although the Fire Rock elite was not as dismissive as last time, his eyes were still somewhat dismissive. Because in his opinion, a flamethrower of Ponyta's level can be easily avoided with Might Hyena's flexible speed, that's it. Might Hyena, after avoiding it, use the Shadow Ball. However, after hearing his order, Might Hyena remained motionless. Of course it's not that Might Hyena doesn't want to move, but because it just used Giga Impact and is still in a stiff contest condition. You know, a big move like Giga Impact, if it's a gym leader level, then that's it. It's just an elite level, it's absolutely impossible to ignore the stiffness. Boom! I saw the blue blazing fire piercing Might Hyena's body fiercely. Not long after, Might Hyena fell to the ground, her eyes became whirlpools, and she passed out completely. Waste! The elite member of Team Fire Rock yelled angrily while taking Might Hyena back. Good job, Ponyta! On the other side, Wang Lu happily cheered for Ponyta. For a moment, the two formed a stark contrast. Chi! Having received applause from the master, Ponyta was very excited. After a loud cry of Ming, a strong and dazzling white light burst out from its body. Ponyta has started to evolve. Soon, the white light dissipated. Ding! Congratulations, Ponyta has evolved into Rapidash. Ding! Rapidash has learned a new skill Mega Audio. Ding! Rapidash learned a new skill, Flare Blitz. After evolution, not only did Rapidash become taller and more handsome, a sharp horn grew on its forehead. This means that its impact has become stronger. At the same time, it also comprehended two big moves. One is Bug type's Mega Audio that can Conti Psychic and Evil type Pokémon. The other Flare Blitz is a big move of this department, not to mention its power. Rapidash. Attribute Fire. Level 42, Elite. Qualification, Light Gold. Physical attack skills, Flame Charge, Takedown, Wild Charge, High Horsepower, Solar Beam, Mega Audio, Flare Blitz. Special attack skills, Flamethrower, Fire Spin, Solar Beam. Change skills, Agility. Nice. Glancing at Rapidash's attribute panel, Wang Lu smiled slightly. Obviously, after the evolution, Rapidash's strength has made a qualitative leap again, even if it faces Normal's master level, it can still fight. Keep going. After Wang Lu defeated several Hawaiian elites in a row, he finally met an acquaintance. Fire Rock Executive Flames. Lian has a rough face, full of beards, and looks like an elderly uncle. At this moment, Lian looked at Wang Lu with rage all over his face. Boy, it's you again. Do you really want to make life difficult for our Hawaiian team? Last time, they wanted to conquer Zapdos, but Wang Lu stopped them. This time, they just found out that Moltres was coming to conquer him. Unexpectedly, Wang Lu followed him again. The ghost is really lingering. Hee. Facing Lian's rage, Wang Lu didn't take it seriously, and glanced at the Might Hyena beside Lian. Might Hyena. Attribute Evil. Level 68, Master. Qualification, Orange. Is it the Master level again? It's a little bit reluctant. Come back Rapidash. If Rapidash is at his peak, he can also fight against it. But along the way, Rapidash has defeated a large number of high-level elites, as well as several owner-level Pokémon. Although Rapidash has also been upgraded a few levels and his strength has become stronger, his physical strength has also been consumed a lot. Therefore, Wang Lu resolutely withdrew Rapidash, and just about to send out Zapdos, unexpectedly, Celebi got out of the forest ball mischievously. Celebi? It turned out to be Celebi. Who is this kid? Lian took a deep look at Wang Lu, his face full of seriousness and fear. Preemptive strike, Might Hyena, use evil waves. Ouch! Might Hyena let out a loud roar, and opened her mouth to spit out a beam of black energy, like a nightmare with teeth and claws, fiercely rushed towards Celebi. Celebi is a small one, cute. Although Lian doesn't have the slightest aura of a strong person on his body, Lian still dare not underestimate him. As for the evil Conti Psychic, Might Hyena's evil wave, as long as it hits Celebi, the effect is outstanding. However, he was still too naive and underestimated Celebi too much. I saw Celebi directly teleported to the side, and easily avoided Might Hyena's evil fluctuations. Celebi, use Dazzling Gleam. Wang Lu ordered. Brilliant rays of light burst out from Celebi's body, and at the same time, more than a dozen beams of energy, like normal cannonballs, slammed towards Might Hyena. Bang bang bang! Smoke and dust rose up, and Might Hyena also fell directly, losing the ability to fight. What a strong Celebi! Lai Yan was horrified, and then he quickly sent out 2 trump card Pokémon, Go, Electivire, Super Iron Tyrannosaurus. Electivire. Attribute, Electricity. Level 72, Quasi-Elite. Qualification, Orange. Super Iron Tyrannosaurus. Attribute, Ground plus Rock. Level 75, Quasi-Elite. Qualification, Orange. At first, in the copy of Unmanned Power Station, when Wang Lu encountered Lai Yan for the first time, Lai Yan was still the Thunder Shock Demon Enridon. And now, it's directly Electivire and Super Iron Tyrannosaurus. Moreover, the level does not know how much it has been improved. Small. Chapter 90. Meet Maxi again, the power of Zapdos. Sure enough, the difficulty of the copy will gradually increase. But it doesn't matter. Wang Lu wouldn't even take it seriously if he was only at the quasi-elite level. To know. At the quasi-elite level, orange qualifications are almost the most common qualifications. Reality is no better than games. In reality, upgrading is too difficult, and except for Wang Lu, no one else has such a thing as rare candy. #BA. Pokémon with purple qualifications, or those with lower qualifications, are too weak to climb up. In the same realm, it is difficult for them to face each other. The higher the level, the more obvious the difference. They will become increasingly difficult to gain experience points. Therefore, it is almost impossible for them to reach the level of quasi-elite. Even if it does exist, the strength of the bloodline is low, and it is still cannon fodder. The Electivire and Super Iron Tyrannosaurus in front of us both have orange qualifications. They cannot be said to be at the bottom of the quasi-elite realm. After all, almost all Pokémon in this realm have orange qualifications, which is the same for everyone. There are too few more advanced qualifications, such as mythical beasts and quasi-gods, or Flash and Totem. But in the realm of quasi-elite, the orange qualification is indeed normal, not outstanding. Celebi is also currently a quasi-elite, but it is a golden 340 legend. Its strength is not comparable to that of a champion, but it really has no problem beating the normal level elite. There is a huge gap between the flaming Electivire, Super Iron Tyrannosaurus, and Wang Lu's Celebi. Celebi, Leaf Storm. Wang Lu ordered. Heard the words. Celebi raised his head and shouted loudly, and instantly released a huge leaf storm, destroying normal and sweeping towards Electivire and the Super Iron Tyrannosaurus. The huge leaf storm struck, and Electivire and the Super Iron Tyrannosaurus were shocked. They wanted to dodge, but the range of the leaf storm was too large, and they didn't know where to dodge. In just 1 or 2 breaths, the huge leaf storm hit Electivire and the Super Iron Tyrannosaurus hard. With just one move, Celebi completely killed these 2 big guys instantly. Electivire. Super Iron Tyrannosaurus. Lai Yan was shocked and hurriedly turned around and ran away. Wang Lu's eyes flashed, and he instantly hit him with an aura sphere. Wang Lu even checked and made sure that Lai Yan had no signs of life before moving on with Celebi. He would like to know if he can still encounter Lai Yan in the later copies. After a while, Wang Lu gradually came to the deepest part of the Flame Mountain. The air here has also become hotter. Fortunately, Wang Lu has the power of the god of fire to protect his body. Instead of feeling hot, he feels that the environment here is very comfortable and warm. However, Celebi couldn't bear it anymore. After wiping her sweat cutely, she took the initiative to go back to the forest ball. At this time, Wang Lu also heard the sound of fierce fighting coming from the front. Charizard, block its escape route. Aerodactyl, use Stone Edge. Swampert, use Hydro Pump. Wang Lu jogged for a few steps and soon found an old acquaintance. The current leader of the Fire Rock team, Maxi. Maxi has silver hair, a slicked back hair, and a pair of glasses. She does look stylish. On his side, he sent a total of 4 Pokémon: Charizard, Aerodactyl, Swampert, and his strongest trump card Volcano Camel. Charizard. Attribute Fire plus Flying. Level 78, Quasi-Elite. Qualification, Orange. Aerodactyl. Attribute, Flying plus Rock. Level 68, Master. Qualification, Orange. Swampert. Attribute Water plus Ground. Level 68, Library Owner. Qualification, Orange. Volcano Camel. Attribute Fire plus Ground. Level 80, Elite. Qualification, Orange. In addition to the Volcano Camel trump card, Charizard is his second trump card. As for Aerodactyl and Swampert, their levels are obviously a little different. It is probably because he made a temporary arrangement to deal with molters. Good. The target of his capture this time was one of the 3 divine birds, molters. In order to conquer the legendary first-level beast Groudon and realize the dream of the Fire Rock team, in recent years, he has been thinking of ways to capture second- and third-level beasts to increase his combat power. But last time, he failed to capture Zapdos. This time to capture molters, he would never allow himself to fail again. Molters. Attribute Fire plus Flying. Level 50, Elite. Qualification, Gold. This molters first showed its ferocious appearance, and had some vague characteristics of a mythical beast, but overall, it was still in its juvenile stage. In other words, it has not fully grown up yet. At the moment, facing Maxie's 4 Pokémon, Beat Up was already scarred, panting, and almost exhausted. Vulcan Power. At this time, Wang Lu hastily released the power of Vulcan. It caught Molter's attention in an instant. Clang! Molters let out a long cry and saw Wang Lu. It seemed to see his father, wept with joy, and fled towards Wang Lu. At this time, in addition to Molters, there are actually 2 other Pokémon who also felt the power of Wang Lu's Vulcan, namely the Volcano Camel and Charizard. For a while, both Volcano and Charizard are kind to Wang Lu. If they are not masters, they will surrender at Wang Lu's feet immediately. Maxie obviously didn't notice this detail. Seeing that Molters broke through Charizard's high-altitude blockade in an instant and was about to escape, he roared anxiously, "Idiot, what are you doing? Grab him!" As soon as Maxie finished speaking, Molters almost hid behind Wang Lu. Heard the words. Charizard looked at Wang Lu, and then at Molters behind Wang Lu. He hesitated for a while. Of course it didn't want to disobey its master, but it also didn't want to hurt that adult. For a while, it was in a dilemma. Hateful. I don't know why Charizard was so nervous that he didn't obey the command. Maxie was so angry that the veins on his face twitched. After he calmed down, he found that Wang Lu looked familiar. Grass, you boy, you are the bastard who prevented me from subduing Zapdos. Maxie stared at Wang Lu viciously and became hysterical. Zapdos? Do you really want to tame Zapdos? Wang Lu smiled slightly, took out the insulating ball, and released Zapdos directly. Clang! Today's Zapdos is no longer the same as it used to be. Its growl, like thunder, like a war drum, is frightening and boiling. Its physique has become very strong, its eyes have become extremely sharp, and its aura is like that of Thor normal, which makes people feel chills in the bottom of their hearts. You boy have tamed Zapdos. Seeing that Wang Lu actually dispatched Zapdos, Maxie's eyes widened. It was really hard to accept this reality. To know. He was the one who discovered that Zapdos first, set up a net, and planned to conquer it first. In the end, it's fine if you fail to subdue him, but, unexpectedly, you made a wedding dress for this kid? Even more hateful. Now, even Molters wants to submit to this kid? What the hell is this kid? For a moment, Maxie looked at Wang Lu with cold killing intent. Aerodactyl, kill him for me, use the destructive death light. As soon as Maxie finished speaking, Aerodactyl opened his mouth wide and shot out a ray of destruction. He practiced normal, carrying terrifying power, and shot straight towards Wang Lu. Waveguide. Barrier appears all over Wang Lu, and the powerful hyper beam is relaxed and present. Damn! Maxie was startled and angry, but she didn't expect that Wang Lu actually possessed the legendary waveguide power, and it was still so powerful. Zapdos, use Thunderbolt. With Wang Lu's order, Zapdos flew out quickly, and after a Thunderbolt shot easily knocked down Aerodactyl, he shot Charizard smack down with a wing attack. In just one breath, Zapdos has two powerful Pokémon in an instant. What? Maxie was taken aback, her face was full of horror, and her face was full of disbelief. Of course he knew that Zapdos possessed terrifying power as a divine beast. Otherwise, he wouldn't want to use Zapdos' power to deal with Groudon. However, he never expected that Wang Lu's Zapdos would be so strong. Forget about Aerodactyl, it was originally a temporary arrangement. But Charizard, who has always been his trump card Pokémon, has now reached the pinnacle of Quasi-Elite. Obviously such a powerful existence, you Zapdos actually say seconds? He has no idea that Wang Lu's Zapdos is not normal Zapdos, but has reached the full level, reaching the master level. Swampert, Hydro Pump. Volcano Camel, Flamethrower. Thinking that the carefully prepared plan would fail again, Qi Yanhong was so angry that 5.2's eyes turned red. At this time, he just wanted to kill Wang Lu, even at any cost. Boom! Boom! Huge high-pressure hydro pump, huge high-temperature fire column, free of charge normal, blasting towards Zapdos and soaring in the sky continuously. But Zapdos's speed is still too fast, like dancing normal, easily dodging the continuous attacks of Swampert and Volcano Camels. At the same time, a thunderbolt was fired, which slammed into Swampert's body. Zapdos lightning is simply too powerful. For a moment, Swampert's face was full of pain, and after he persisted for a second, there was a bang, and a powerful thunderbolt exploded on it. When the smoke cleared, Swampert passed out completely. How is this possible? Seeing that Swampert was instantly killed by an electric skill, Maxie couldn't believe it, and the expression on his face was extremely shocking, as if he had seen a normal ghost. To know. Swampert has ground type. As for ground type, it is not only counter lightning, but also immune to lightning. But in front of the powerful Zapdos, Swampert's attribute advantage, attribute immunity, is completely useless. Just because the level difference between the two sides is too big. Chapter 91. Conquer Moltres. Seeing that Zapdos instantly killed Swampert with a thunderbolt, Wang Lu was also surprised. Good. Even he didn't think of it. He originally thought that the mutual generation and mutual restraint of attributes is the basic law of the Pokémon world. But he never expected that when the strength reaches a certain level, even the basic laws can be broken. To be watched by the cold eyes of Zapdos. For a moment, Maxie felt the pressure of dying and couldn't help shouting, Volcano Camel, Mega Evolution. At this time, the keystone on his ring echoes the Mega Evolution stone carried on the Volcano Camel, giving off a strange light. In that light, the Volcano Camel underwent an evolution beyond evolution, which is Mega Evolution. Mega Volcano Camel. Its size became even bigger, and the two humps on its back also merged into one. And the only remaining hump is like the normal mouth of the volcano, which is poorly emitting hot magma. The temperature on its body is even more suffocating. There is no doubt that its flame energy has become stronger. Mega Volcano Camel. Attribute Fire plus Ground. Level 80, Elite. Qualification, Light Gold. Volcano, use the flamethrower. Maxie yelled. Heard the words. The Mega Volcano Camel immediately opened its mouth and ejected an extremely huge, crimson, extremely hot, high-temperature flame pillar like magma normal, blasting fiercely towards Zapdos in the soaring in the sky. 04 Facing the terrorist attack of the Mega Volcano Camel, Zapdos's eyes flashed with disdain, and he immediately sent thunder to blast him. There is no question about the result. Zapdos lightning is obviously much stronger, destroying normal and directly repelling the flamethrower of the Mega Volcano Camel. Finally, it hit the Mega Volcano Camel fiercely. Ouch, ouch, ouch. The Mega Volcano Camel roared in pain, but in just 1 second, it exhausted all its energy. Turned back into a Volcano Camel again, completely comatose in the past. Wang Lu clearly sees. As the Mega Volcano Camel fell, an extremely shining stone exploded from its body. At least in the copy, Wang Lu has never seen that kind of light, so Wang Lu is sure, it must be a good thing. Pyro Ball. But trying to spare Maxie before going to pick it up, a thought came to my mind. I saw a huge burning fireball emanating directly from Wang Lu's hand. Good. This is the signature skill of the 8th generation fire type Yu Sanjia, flame trump card, pyro ball. But now, Wang Lu has the power of Vulcan and can use it easily, and the power of his pyro ball is much more powerful than the flare trump card. Boom! Under Maxi's horrified gaze, the pyro ball directly burned him to ashes. Ding! Congratulations to the host for successfully clearing the copy of Flame Mountain and rewarding the Charizard XY Evolution Stone. As the system prompts sounded in his ears, Wang Lu was also startled. What? Charizard XY Evolution Stone? Isn't it Charizard X Evolution Stone, or Charizard Evolution Stone? Wang Lu couldn't believe it. You know, as the official biological father, apart from Mewtwo, it is the only Pokémon with 2 Mega Evolution forms. They are the extremely cool, Hard Claw ability, and Fire Dragon type X Spray. As well as Rizeo ability, Attributes Spray will instantly make people fly in seconds. But any Pokémon can only carry one type of item at the same time. If the basic conditions of the bond are met, your Charizard can carry the Charizard X Evolution Stone, Mega Evolution, which is X Spray. Your Charizard carries Charizard Evolution Stone, Mega Evolution, which is Y Spray. Right. The direction of Charizard Mega Evolution depends on what kind of stone it carries. Wang Lu never expected that the system would come out and produce the Charizard XY Evolution Stone. Charizard XY Evolution Stone, after carrying Charizard, you can Mega Evolve it into Mega Charizard X or Mega Charizard as you wish. Wang Lu guessed right, this stone is really awesome. 2 Mega Evolution forms, evolve freely as you wish. In one word, awesome. Wang Lu observed the stone carefully, and sure enough, this stone, like Tai Chi normal, perfectly separates 2 completely different energies, but also vaguely blends them. One stone can perfectly exert the effect of 2 stones. One word, force. However, I don't have a Charizard. Holding the best stone in his hand, Wang Lu couldn't help but smile bitterly. In the real world, Wang Lu has already thoroughly understood how rare the Mega Evolution Stone is. Such a proud girl like Mirong Shui didn't even get the stone she wanted, so it can be seen that this is not about money, but really scarce, there is no market for the price. Wang Lu never expected it. The first stone I got turned out to be a Mega Stone, but unfortunately, it was not used by my existing Pokémon. Old Squirt. Old Spray is a belief-like existence for many people, and Wang Lu is no exception. Just because of this belief, Wang Lu's requirements for the old man are too high, either he should not have the old man, or he must have the world's mightiest bloodline strength comparable to the Soil Lord level beast. Flash Totem Old Spray. Only such a veteran can be worthy of such a top-quality Mega Stone. There is such a vast world, where should I go to find a veteran of this level? Although Wang Lu has the system, it is a bit unimaginable for such a veteran. Put the stones away. Wang Lu calmed down and walked over to pick up the stones exploded by the Mega Volcano Camel. When I saw it, I was surprised again. Volcano Camel Evolution Stone, carrying Volcano Camel, it can Mega Evolve into Mega Volcano Camel. It's the Mega Evolution Stone again. It's so damn useless. Wang Lu looked at the system's recycling price for the Volcano Camel Evolution Stone, which was 50 million Xia coins. Wang Lu couldn't help but complain, 50 million is nothing. If I don't sell it, I won't sell it. Wang Lu really didn't want this stone. After all, he has no intention of raising a volcano camel. Even if it is Flash, or a totem volcano camel, he doesn't want it. Even if you want it, you will only treat it as a pet or a vase to show off to others, and will never take breeder seriously. That being the case, then it is almost impossible for Wang Lu to use that stone, and he doesn't want to sell it. The purpose is to exchange it for the stone he needs. Yes. In the real world, Mega Evolution Stones are too rare. Some people are lucky enough to get one, but it is not what they want, and they rarely choose to sell it. Most people will choose to exchange it for the stone they want, even if they add more money, it doesn't matter. Wang Lu's thoughts at this time were exactly the same as those people. I harvested 2 precious stones, but they are not for my own use. Wang Lu's mood also had some ups and downs. After readjusting his mood, Wang Lu finally set his sights on the most important molters. At this time, molters, one of the three majestic birds, followed closely behind Wang Lu. In front of Wang Lu, it was as obedient as a baby. Wang Lu was also a little shocked. It seems that his three powers, the power of the wave guide, the power of controlling the dragon, and the power of the fire god should far exceed the second and third level divine beasts. Otherwise, Moltres would not be so submissive right now. Good. Wang Lu compared the second and third level mythical beasts together. Because although there is a gap between the second and third level divine beasts, the gap is very small. The main reason is that the gap with the first level gods is huge. According to Wang Lu's estimation, the second and third level divine beasts should all have golden qualifications. In Celebi's words, it is a fantasy beast, its bloodline strength is comparable to that of a second level god, and it only has golden qualifications. As for Wang Lu, doesn't know if these three powers of Wang Lu can surpass the level 1 god. After all, Wang Lu has never seen a first level god. But one thing, Wang Lu is very sure, is that his ability can continue to improve and become stronger. Every time he acquires a new ability, his previous abilities will be sublimated and become stronger. Before, when he only had the power of wave guide and dragon control, he could only increase the fighting energy and dragon energy of his Pokémon by 20%. After gaining the power of Vulcan, his wave guide power and dragon control power have also been improved, which can increase the grid energy and dragon energy of his Pokémon by 30%. Little Moltres, if you don't want to be bullied anymore, then follow me and become stronger with me. Wang Lu squatted down, touched Moltres' head and said. Moltres looked at Zapdos, who was resting on a high place with a proud look on his face, and there was a hint of yearning in his eyes. Yes, it wants to be as powerful as that Zapdos. So, looking at Wang Lu, it nodded decisively. Very good. A smile flashed across Wang Lu's face and he took out a luxury ball. However, the luxury ball melted as soon as it approached Moltres. Moltres looked guilty, it wasn't intentional, it was instinct. As the god of fire, Moltres can naturally control the temperature of the flames on his body. Even if it knows that Wang Lu is not afraid of fire, it does not dare to increase the temperature of the flame without authorization. However, it has an instinctive resistance to the unfamiliar poke ball. Just now, as the luxury ball approached, it subconsciously increased the temperature of the flame, which melted the luxury ball. Heat-resistant ball. This time, Wang Lu took out the heat-resistant ball and finally succeeded in conquering Moltres. Moltres. Attribute Fire plus Flying. Level 50, Elite. Qualification, Gold. Physical attack skills, Wing Attack, Sky Attack. Special attack skills, Ancient Power, Air Slash, Hurricane, Flamethrower, Burn Up. Change skills, Safeguard, Agility, Protect, Roost. Zapdos, Golden Legend, Level 100, Master. Salamence, Golden Legend, Level 80, Elite. Celebi, Golden Legend, Level 70, Quasi-Elite. Moltres, Golden Legend, Level 50, Elite. Electivire, Golden Epic, Level 75, Quasi-Elite. Dragonite, Golden Epic, Level 73, Quasi-Elite. Milotic, Golden Epic, Level 70, Quasi-Elite. Haxorus, Golden Epic, Level 65, Hall Owner. Rapidash, Golden Epic, Level 48, Elite. Chapter 92. Let's go, I'll take you to find the totem Pokémon. A few days later, Wang Hongguang and Tian Hui jointly published academic papers in the literary world. The title of the paper is The True Identity of Aerodactyl, Ultra-Ancient Pokémon, Archaic Pterosaur. Once the paper was published, it immediately caused an uproar in the entire academic community. In the paper, Wang Hongguang and his wife proved the existence of Archean pterosaurs through a large amount of research data and real-time photos. It is proved that it is a pterosaur that existed in the ancient times, a real pterosaur, and it contains a large number of dragon genes in its body, not a fossil. New varieties are introduced. Professors and scholars from all walks of life were all shocked. Wang Hongguang and his wife and their research assistants also instantly became famous in the academic world and became famous. But at the same time, the existence of the ancient pterosaurs also made some hunters, including some organized hunter groups, use their brains. Tianhu Laboratory. The hunters start to step on the spot. In the eyes of hunters, the ancient pterosaur is a brand new species, and only this one has been discovered in the whole world so far, so its value must be extremely precious. Once you get it, at least it will start with tens of billions. This is such a huge number, it is enough to drive countless hunters and hunter groups completely crazy. That night, Wang Hongguang and his wife talked to Wang Lu, intending to send the ancient pterosaur to Wang Lu. The first is that they have already done systematic research on the ancient pterosaurs, and now that the papers have been published, they no longer need to do other research on the ancient pterosaurs. The second is that they have a vague premonition that the existence of the ancient pterosaur will attract the hunters. Although their research has been done, the Great Wyrm is no longer needed. But no matter what, this ancient pterosaur is also an extremely rare Pokémon, and it is even more powerful. They naturally don't want the ancient pterosaur to be taken away by hunters. They are Pokémon professors, and now they are well known in the academic world, but they are not good enough as Pokémon trainers. Facing hunters, they are not sure about protecting the ancient pterosaurs. Mom and Dad. Hunters go for the ancient pterosaurs, and if they can't see the ancient pterosaurs, will they be willing to go back? You published a paper proving the existence of the ancient pterosaurs, who would the hunters look for if they didn't look for you? Even if you can't see the ancient pterosaur, the hunter will not let you go. Sometimes, fame comes with corresponding risks. Now, I put the ancient pterosaur with you, not because I want you to protect it, but because I want it to protect you. Such a simple truth, don't you all understand? Wang Lu smiled at his parents through his mobile phone. Wang Hongguang and his wife were taken aback, and after thinking about it for a while, they knew that Erz's words were indeed reasonable. At this time, Wang Hongguang and his wife were gratified and moved at the same time. They never thought that their son thought so far and thought of them so much. But what if the hunter is too powerful and captures the ancient pterodactyl? Wang Hongguang asked, still a little worried. After all, in the hunter industry, the water is too deep, and there will naturally be top experts among them. It's okay, if you are still not at ease, I will send Dragonite back later. Wang Lu laughed. Wang Lu's Dragonite, powerful and gentle at the same time. Wang Lu believes that even if his father is only a third-rate trainer, he can easily control it. Equally powerful and equally gentle is Mitsumi. Wang Lu thought about sending Mitsumi back with Dragonite. But if I think about it carefully, if I leave out Dragonite in my lineup, only Mitsumi will be left with water-type tricks, so I give up. Anyway, Dragonite is powerful enough. If it doesn't work, Wang Lu can use Celebi's teleport to teleport back at any time. 8 p.m. Wang Lu and his group returned to the hotel after visiting the night market. Using the hotel's teleportation machine, Wang Lu directly teleported Dragonite there. Tianhu Laboratory. Wang Hongguang tightly held the luxury ball that Wang Lu had just sent back. Dragonite, Dragon. Wang Hongguang was extremely excited. If he owned a Dragonite when he was young, he would still conduct academic research on hammers? Can he be a Pokémon professor with a hammer? If he had owned a Dragonite when he was young, he would have rushed towards his dream and the road of Pokémon Master. Even now, over 40, with a Pokeball filled with Dragonite in his hand, his heart is still very excited. After all, dreams are unforgettable. Look at you, you're such a bear. Tian Hui laughed and scolded, and said, get out of blindness quickly. Wang Hongguang nodded, and excitedly released Dragonite. Ah! As soon as Dragonite came out, he gave Wang Hongguang and Tian Hui a bear hug with a smile on his face, and even made a puppy-like growl. That's what Dragonite is. He is obviously very powerful, but his personality is docile, just like a big dog normal. It is precisely because of this that Dragonite will be loved by so many people. Of course. Even if Dragonite is friendly to people, not everyone can command them, at least they have to be acquaintances. As for Wang Lu's Dragonite, he had known Wang Hongguang and Tian Hui since he was still Dratini, so he was naturally more friendly to them and was willing to be commanded by them. Ha ha ha! Lying in Dragonite's warm embrace, Wang Hongguang and Tian Hui looked at each other and smiled happily. With Dragonite in hand and the powerful archaic pterodactyl, they won't be afraid even if a hunter does come. Late at night, Wang Hongguang was lying on the bed holding Dragonite's luxury ball. Next to him, his wife was already asleep, but his face was full of excitement and he couldn't sleep at all. He wished that a hunter would come to cause trouble now, and then he sent Dragonite to fight, giving him a good show of authority. However, after waiting for a long time, the hunter never appeared, so he fell asleep with regret. Nothing to say all night. Early the next morning, Ling Yun's secret realm was officially opened. Including Wang Lu, countless young trainers, as well as many middle-aged and elderly trainers, all filed in. This secret place is full of vegetation, with towering trees everywhere, and the air is extremely fresh. This is not only an excellent place for Pokémon to live, but if there is no danger, even humans would be willing to stay here for a long time. Look, everyone, damn, Ursaring is so strong. Suddenly, a cry of exclamation rang out from the crowd. Everyone looked around and found a huge Ursaring in the distance. It was not a totem, but it was also extremely strong and was obviously 2 or 3 times larger than the normal Ursaring. Ursaring. Attribute, Normal. Level 55, Elite. Qualification, Orange. Roar. Just as everyone was looking at the Ursaring also discovered their group of humans, and immediately roared and pounced on it. It was so powerful that it pulled out streaks of smoke and dust behind it. Haha, good, come on, I want to conquer it. There were many strong men in the crowd. Seeing Ursaring rushing towards him, many people rushed out immediately. Bang bang bang. White lights flashed. Blastoise, Crocodile, Machamp, Mightyena. Powerful Pokémon were sent out one after another. Get away. That Ursaring belongs to me. Wrong. It's obviously mine. Before the battle with Ursaring started, those people started fighting among themselves. It was not until Ursaring knocked down several Pokémon in a row that they were completely awakened. They began to unite, and soon defeated Ursaring, and then used their strength to fight for the ownership of Ursaring. The crowd gradually dispersed. Waveguide. At this time, Wang Lu directly released the waveguide. Although this secret realm is huge, with a diameter of up to hundreds of miles, it occupies an area comparable to some small cities. Even so, Wang Lu's waveguide can still easily cover the entire secret realm. At this moment, Wang Lu immediately discovered a dozen extremely unusual strong Hideki messages. Is that totem? Wang Lu was shocked. He wanted to know what kind of Pokémon those totem were. Wang Lu, what's wrong with you? Seeing that Wang Lu looked a little strange, Mirong Shui couldn't help but ask. Wang Lu smiled mysteriously, looked at Mirong Shui and Cao Lai and said, let's go, I will take you to find the totem Pokémon. Totem. Mirong Shui and Cao Lai were both shocked. There are often totems in secret realms, but totems are often hidden very deep. How would Wang Lu know where they are? By the way, he has history. It is said that everything has a waveguide, which is strong or weak, and the waveguide hero can not only use the waveguide, but also directly judge the strength of the target through the waveguide on the target. After thinking about this, Mirong Shui looked at Wang Lu and became more and more envious. Then, Wang Lu led Li Qianzhao, Mirong Shui and Cao Lai towards the first goal, but did not notice a sea viper running through the bushes and following closely. Just after a while, Sea Viper suddenly swooped down from the tree and bit Mirong Shui's back. It is said that most untouched girls have a strong sixth sense. In the dark, Mirong Shui suddenly turned around. When she saw Sea Viper's terrifying face and big smelly mouth, her beauty suddenly turned pale, and she subconsciously grabbed Wang Lu's arm to restrain her. Although Wang Lu doesn't have a sixth sense, he has a powerful waveguide. As early as when the Sea Viper swooped down from the tree, Wang Lu felt something strange. When he was caught by Mirong Shui, the mainland reacted instantly. Court death. Wang Lu's boyfriend pulled Mirong Shui behind him with great strength, raised his hand and fired an aura sphere. There was a bang. The powerful aura sphere exploded directly in Sea Viper's big mouth. The powerful force caused Sea Viper to lose his fighting ability instantly and fall from mid-air. Looking at Sea Viper, who was unconscious on the ground but still had a ferocious look on her face, Mirong Shui patted her heart with fear. Feeling the body temperature coming from Wang Lu, her face suddenly turned red. She was so scared that she was not afraid of death. He didn't move away from Wang Lu. She didn't know why, but she always felt that she felt an inexplicable sense of security when she was around Wang Lu. Chapter 93. Nidoran and Nidoran. Sea Viper. Cao Lai realized it later, sweating profusely, and fell to the ground in fright. Since ancient times, opportunities and dangers have coexisted. It is said that the secret land is dangerous, and the wild Pokémon inside will attack humans at every turn, which is really no small matter. Holding Mirong Xue's soft and boneless little hand, Wang Lu found that Mirong Xue had regained his composure, and turned his gaze to the sea viper on the ground. That sea viper was born very strong. 10 books are quite different. Sea viper. Attribute, poison. Level 62, Master. Qualification, Orange. This sea viper has good qualifications and has a certain breeder value. Ask you, do you want it? After these few days of getting along, the relationship between Wang Lu and Mirong Xue has gradually improved, and the names of each other have become much more intimate. At this time, Wang Lu asked Mirong Xue somewhat with a bit of evil taste. Sure enough, Mirong Xue frowned instantly. Thinking of sea viper's ferocious and frightening face and that big, smelly mouth just now, Mirong Xue was in a bad mood. Not to mention that this is just an ordinary sea viper, even if it is Flash or Totem, she will never want it. Of course Wang Lu also knew that after the previous events, Mirong Xue would never want sea viper, and he was just joking about it, and then he looked at Cao Lai again. No. Cao Lai also shook his head again and again. Although he is a hot chicken, he doesn't want a terrible Pokémon like sea viper. Okay, it's really dangerous in the secret realm, you two should each send a Pokémon out, they will be more vigilant than us humans. While talking, Wang Lu let go of Mirong Xue's little hand. Bang bang! Mirong Xue and Cao Lai nodded, and sent out Dratini and Chao Yang Pig respectively. As for Wang Lu, there is no need. He has divine power to protect his body, even if he stands still, normal's Pokémon can't hurt him. Of course this is only one of 430. The main reason is that Wang Lu's pets are basically large pets, and it is inconvenient for him to travel with him. Currently the smallest is Celebi. However, it's not good for Celebi to be exposed casually, so it's okay to let Mirong Xue know, but there are not a few human trainers in this secret realm. Woo! It seemed to feel the tension of Mirong Xue. This time, Dratini didn't immediately fall into Wang Lu's arms, but lay on Mirong Xue's shoulder, gently rubbing Mirong Xue's face with his small head. Mirong Xue was taken aback for a moment, and was so moved that she almost shed tears. Obviously, from this time on, Dratini's intimacy with Mirong Xue has greatly increased, after all Mirong Xue is its real owner. Different from Dratini comforting Mirong Xue. As soon as Chao Yang Pig came out, he began to tremble as soon as he saw sea viper. Cao Lai was trembling, and Chao Yang Pig was trembling too. Wang Lu couldn't help being speechless, almost thinking that the two of them came here for a joke. Cao Lai, in this secret realm, just use whatever Pokémon you fancy. If you can't figure it out, I'll help you out. Wang Lu wanted to help Cao Lai improve his strength a long time ago. It happened that most of the Pokémon in this secret realm were good, so Wang Lu wanted to help Cao Lai catch a few. Even if it is Totem, what Wang Lu doesn't want, it doesn't matter if it is given to Cao Lai. After all, as the eldest brother, Wang Lu, the stronger his younger brother, the more powerful he will be. Thank you, boss. Cao Lai was overjoyed immediately, and looked around while walking. Not long. Wang Lu and his team found 3 strong Nidoqueen under a huge fruit tree. Nidoqueen, Purple Elite, Level 48, Elite. Nidoqueen, Orange Day Selection, Ida, Level 58, Elite. Nidoqueen, Purple Elite, Level 50, Elite. At this time, the 3 Nidoqueen were picking fruits, and they picked off the bright red fruits one by one and threw them on the ground. And under their feet, there is a group of Nidoran male sign and Nidoran female sign, enjoying the sweet fruit. Boss, I want that one. Cao Lai was not polite, and pointed directly at the strongest Nidoqueen in the middle. Wang Lu rolled his eyes, you go first, if you can't handle it, I'll help you later. If having a powerful Pokémon means becoming stronger, then the road to trainer is too simple. In Wang Lu's copy, what Pokémon doesn't exist? There are even quasi-gods like Salamence and Hydreigon. It is no problem for Wang Lu to send 2 quasi-gods to Cao Lai. The key is, can Cao Lai manage it? Not to mention Cao Lai, Salamence and Hydreigon in Wang Lu's dungeon, even Zhao Hongii is difficult to control. If the trainer also has a level, Zhao Hongii is also an elite middle level. As for Cao Lai, I'm afraid he hasn't touched the threshold of the elite yet. Just a master trainer. Of course, there are many people like Cao Lai. But as Wang Lu's younger brother, this level is too low. Okay. Boss, help me sweep the formation. Cao Lai nodded excitedly, pointed at the strongest Nidoqueen and shouted, Nidoqueen, come to fight, I want to subdue you. Heard the words. The three Nidoqueen turned their heads in unison and looked towards Cao Lai. Their cold eyes instantly frightened Cao Lai into a shiver. Fortunately, they don't seem to hate humans, and the strongest Nidoqueen also stood up to show dignity. Charge, Chao Yang Pig, use flame charge. Cao Lai waved his hand and shouted. The Chao Yang Pig instantly turned into a huge fireball and slammed into Nidoqueen on the opposite side. Unexpectedly, Nidoqueen simply raised one arm and easily blocked the attack of Chao Yang Pig. The difference in strength and level between the two sides is huge. Then, Nidoqueen punched with his backhand, and the violent water energy gathered and turned into a wave of water, knocking Chao Yang Pig away. With a bang, Chao Yang Pig fell heavily to the ground and lost its ability to fight. Serve! Staring at the Nidoqueen, Mirong Shue's eyes lit up and she said, what a special way of presentation. Wang Lu also nodded slightly. Surf is a special attack. Normally, Pokémon will summon a huge wave and beat it. And that Nidoqueen's surf is a bit like a physical attack. If that's the case, that's not bad. After all, Nidoqueen is better at physical attacks than special attacks. Mitsumi, use Hydro Pump. Next, Wang Lu appeared and sent out Mitsumi. With one Hydro Pump, he easily killed the Nidoqueen in seconds. However, the opportunity to conquer Nidoqueen was right in front of him, but Cao Lai remained silent and hesitated. What's wrong? Wang Lu asked. Cao Lai suddenly smiled bitterly and said, forget it, boss, that Nidoqueen is too strong. Even if I subdue it, I still can't control it. Very good. Wang Lu's eyes lit up. Cao Lai's realization made Wang Lu couldn't help but give him a high look. Then, he pointed at a pair of Nidoran male sign Nidoran female sign and said to Cao Lai, those two little ones have good qualifications. Go and conquer those two. Nidoran male sign. Attribute, Poison. Level 25, Advanced. Qualification, Blue. Nidoran female sign. Attribute, Poison. Level 22, Advanced. Qualification, Blue. These two Nidoran male sign and Nidoran female sign are only in the first stage of form and have blue qualifications. As for Cao Lai's Chao Yang Pig, the second stage of its form only has blue qualifications. There is a huge gap between them, and their potentials are completely different. More importantly, the levels of those two little guys are not low, and have already exceeded the lowest level of evolution. That is, they can evolve at any time. After evolving into Nidorino and Nidorina, carrying the Moonstone can both evolve into Nidoking and Nidoqueen. As for Moonstone, Wang Lu has exploded and sold countless Moonstones, and now he still has 10 of them in his hand. For Wang Lu, it doesn't even count. Cao Lai nodded heavily, quickly took back Chao Yang Pig, and sent out new Pokémon. After a hard battle, he finally subdued the two little guys. Yes, I went through a hard battle. Those two little guys just have great potential, but their current combat power is not strong at all, and can even be said to be very weak. 201T. Cao Lai also had to go through a tough battle. He sent out almost all of his Pokémon. After a round of battle, he finally conquered. Cao Lai was overjoyed. For Cao Lai, those two little guys have replaced Chao Yang Pig and become the new trump card, not to mention, they have amazing potential. Wang Lu smiled happily and believed that Cao Lai's strength would improve rapidly in a short period of time. Maybe even surpass Zhao Hong'ai in one fell swoop. Wang Lu is vaguely looking forward to it. How cool would it be if your little brother defeated the gym trainer and became the new gym trainer? Cao Lai is also a disciple of the Xianhuo Gym. In principle, the strongest disciple serves as the gym trainer. How proud are you then? Wang Lu made the distinction very clearly. Cao Lai is the younger brother. Mirong Shui and Zhao Hong'ai are women. No matter how close their relationship is, they are just friends. Of course Wang Lu hopes that Cao Lai is stronger than them. BF. They can also be their own little brothers, or their own wives. After Cao Lai subdued Nidoran male sign and Nidoran female sign, Mirong Shui also subdued the strong Nidoqueen just now. Mirong Shui is very powerful and has a very high level. With orange qualifications, she has countless Pokémon of this level. Now she conquered this Nidoqueen just out of interest. She took a fancy to the special surf of that Nidoqueen. The group moved on. Gradually, they are getting closer and closer to the first goal. At this moment, a red shadow passed by them. Stop! A cute girl of 14 or 15 years old with wheat-colored skin who looked full of vitality chased the red shadow and met Wang Lu and his party. Xiao Ni. The girl is none other than the gym trainer of Lingyun Gym, Wang Xianai. Seeing him, Mirong Shui immediately smiled and said hello. And at this time, Wang Lu looked at the retreating red shadow, his facial expression was very shocked. Can he not be shocked? Because that girl is a Zapdos. The original Zapdos from the Galar region. Chapter 94. Fighting Zapdos. Free chicken. If it weren't for Zapdos, would normal Pokémon have such terrifying speed? Someone may want to ask. Zapdos, shouldn't it be flying in the sky? And it should be golden feathers, so why is there a red after image? You are wrong. The original Zapdos from the Galar region ran on the ground. It was once nicknamed the free-range chicken by players, and it had red feathers. Zapdos is too warlike. After Zapdos was soaring in the sky, he was not satisfied and began to race around the world again. Over time, their wings degrade and they become no longer good at flying. But it doesn't matter, they still have super speed, their legs are extremely powerful, and they are especially good at jumping. At the same time, because they have been fighting on the ground for a long time, they have forgotten how to use thunder and lightning, and instead have developed superb fighting skills. The genes are passed down from generation to generation, and their descendants completely lose the thunder electric type, but also possess the fighting type. Good. The original Zapdos from the Galar region is the attribute of flying plus fighting. He is not very good at flying, but has the same flying type. Because they are good at jumping, they are also good at some flying skills. As for why the feathers turned red, I don't know. Maybe it's because when I first started to ride the earth, I wasn't used to it, and I was angry when I was abused. Wang Xianai ran over out of breath and saw that she couldn't catch up. Now she met her brother Wang Lu, whom she liked, so she simply stopped. To know. Wang Xianai is the gym trainer of the fighting gym. Although she is only 14 or 15 years old, her performance has been trained extremely well by Wang Zhong since she was a child. In terms of performance alone, Mirong Shui and Cao Lai should be far behind Wang Xianai. Even so, Wang Xianai was out of breath when she ran, but she couldn't even touch the shadow of the free-range chicken. This shows how fast the free-range chicken is. Just now, what is that Pokémon? Its speed, isn't it too fast? Cao Lai also saw a red after image just now, he was very curious, so he asked Wang Xianai. I don't know, I've never seen it. Wang Xianai shook her head, bit her finger and thought for a while, then said, well, it looks a bit like Doduoli with one head, but Doduoli has no wings. It has wings but can't fly. It can only run fast with Scud normal. Zapdos? No way. Mirong Shui was shocked, her face full of disbelief. Obviously, she is a knowledgeable person, and she even knows the existence of free-range chickens. Although I didn't see it clearly just now, after Wang Xianai described it like this, there was an image in her head instantly. Would it be possible for normal's Pokémon to have that speed if it weren't for Zapdos? At this time, Mirong Shui's thinking is almost the same as Wang Lu's. It's just that she couldn't believe it, they actually met legends. Even in the secret realm, it's amazing. Pity. The wild chicken has already escaped, and now I can't even see the shadow. Zapdos? Why did Zapdos become like that? Wang Xianai's small mouth opened into an O shape, and Cao Lai also looked in disbelief. It is indeed Zapdos. You should know that the same Pokémon will look different if it survives in a different environment. Fire Ninetales can turn into Ice Ninetales, why can't Zapdos be like that? Wang Lu said with great certainty. Ah! It's really Zapdos. Did I meet the legendary Zapdos? It's a pity, I haven't fought against it once, but it escaped. After Wang Lu's confirmation, Wang Xianai immediately exclaimed that it was a pity. Because she knew it was Zapdos, she had no idea of subduing it, after all, it was unrealistic. But she actually wanted to fight Zapdos. This ambition is far beyond ordinary people. She really deserves to be a gym trainer at such a young age. While Wang Lu and his group were speaking, the free-range chicken ran to another group of people and stopped. Damn it, what kind of Pokémon is that? Someone exclaimed immediately. Zapdos, Zapdos of Grid Attribute. Among the crowd, there were many knowledgeable people who directly revealed the identity of the free-range chicken. I'm going. Zapdos? Dude, you won't lie to me, I can't stand being lied to. Stop talking. Hurry up. Let's unite and catch it first. Bang bang bang. All of a sudden, a large number of Pokémon were sent out to prepare for beat-up. However, the free-roaming chicken was not afraid at all, but took the initiative to rush forward. Its two wings were emitting strong white light, and it was like a sharp sword. Normal slashed wildly, knocking down 7 or 8 Pokémon in a short time. Huh? Isn't that Brick Break? Brick Break? Just use wings as hands. Don't be so pushy, recognize Drew. The boss has long said that it is fighting Zapdos. Facing such a powerful and yet so weird free-range chicken, everyone was both excited and nervous. At this moment, the ground chicken splashed high, and flames burst out from the soles of its feet. With a move of Blaze Kick, it directly overturned a Blastoise, causing a cloud of smoke and dust. Awesome, that's Blaze Kick! There was another exclamation from the crowd. However, when the smoke cleared, the free-range chickens had already run away without a trace. Come out, Salamence! At this time, Wang Lu released Salamence, jumped up and stood on Salamance's back. If you haven't met it, then that's fine, since you've met a free-range chicken, then Wang Lu is determined to get it. Anyway, the free-range chicken is also a legend, and it is also a mythical beast. The strength of its bloodline is by no means inferior to Wang Lu's Zapdos. If there were no outsiders in this secret realm, Wang Lu would have sent Zapdos to have a fight with that rogue. Brother Wang Lu, are you going to tame that Zapdos? Come on! Looking at the figure standing on the back of Flash Salamence, Wang Xianai was full of admiration. In her opinion, divine beasts are existences that human beings cannot subdue. But at the same time, she also thinks her brother Wang Lu is invincible. If there is really anyone in this world who can subdue mythical beasts and conquer legends, then it must be her beloved brother Wang Lu. Well, I am determined to win. Mirong Shui and Wang Xianai were deeply fascinated by Wang Lu's sharpness at this moment. That is to say, Cao Lai is a man, if he is also a woman, he probably also fly, Salamence. Under the connection of mind, Salamence also instantly locked on the direction of the ground chicken. Immediately, the dual wingbeat was shocked, stirring up a large amount of storm and smoke, and at the same time, it carried Wang Lu like an arrow from the string, and rushed forward. In just 2 or 3 seconds, Mirong Shui, Wang Xianai and Cao Lai could no longer see Wang Lu and Salamence. At this time, Mirong Shui took out an Ultra Ball and released a Baidiao. Her bird is obviously much taller than normal bird, with a wingspan of nearly 3 meters. Comparison. Attribute, normal plus flying. Level, level 56, elite. Qualification, orange. As soon as Mirong Shui turned over, she sat firmly on Baidiao's back. This Baidiao is extremely tall and strong, not to mention just carrying Mirong Shui, even if there is another person there is no problem. Sister Mirong, do you want to catch Zapdos too? Seeing Mirong Shui sitting on Baidiao spread his wings and wanted to fly, Wang Xianai asked in surprise. Of course I think so too, but there are not a few strong people in the secret realm, and I may not be able to stand out, let alone, I am not your brother Wang Lu's rival at all. Mirong Shui couldn't help but said with a wry smile. Wang Xianai couldn't help but her eyes lit up when she heard the words, and said, so, Sister Mirong, are you going to help brother Wang Lu? I want to go with you too, is that okay? Wang Xianai is specialized in fighting, and she doesn't have any flying Pokémon in her hand. As for the large Pokémon that can fly people, there is no such thing. But she also wanted to help Wang Lu, and of course the most important thing was to witness the process of Wang Lu subduing Zapdos with her own eyes, so she couldn't help looking pitifully at Mirong Shui's little face full of first seeking. Come on! Mirong Xue nodded. After a while, the two girls greeted Cao Lai, and then flew away on Bai Diao. Cao Lai smiled wryly. It turns out that if I don't have the strength, I don't even have the qualifications to help the boss clean up some shrimp soldiers and crab generals. In the forest of the secret realm, free-range chickens scurry around, making wind and rain. Today, there are 8,000 people who come to this secret realm, if not 10,000, it is very lively. The free-range chicken didn't feel the slightest discomfort, on the contrary, it was very excited. The secret realm has just been opened, and before all the trainers had time to explore in depth, they were attracted by the wild chickens, and chased after them crazily for a while. Pity. The vast majority of trainers and their Pokémon can't keep up with the speed of the chickens, and only a few trainers stand out from it. And the Pokémon of these few trainers are almost all large Pokémon that can carry people and are fast. There are Arcanine, Rapidash, Doduoli, Tauros, Snake and so on running on the ground. There are more flying in the sky, such as Dragonair, Dragonite, Metagross, Garchomp, Bidio, Charizard, Aerodactyl, and so on. Unfortunately, even these people, these Pokémon, couldn't catch up with the red figure in front of them, and they were being played with by wild chickens, walking them like walking dogs. Just at this moment, I saw a huge black figure coming from behind, and then flew out almost instantly. After just a short while, he widened the gap with them, and chased the wild chicken in front. Damn, what is that? Salamence? But, why the black skin? Flash Salamence? I'm so blind. This world is crazy. His. Flash Quasi-God? Is this worth it? How many trainers can there really be Flash Quasi-Gods in such a big southern region? Soaring in the sky, the earth, and all the trainers exclaimed instantly. Chapter 95. Subdue the free-range chickens. As far as I know, apart from the Flash Salamence just now, in the huge southern region, only our southern region champion Gong Yiming has a Flash Quasi-God. The southern territory has a population of 3.5 billion. Among them, there are tens of millions of trainers, if not 100 million. However, among so many trainers, only 2 have Flash Quasi-Gods. This is enough to show that Flash Quasi-Gods what a god is, how rare it is. Hey, don't just talk about our southern region, even if you look at China, or even the whole world, how many trainers are there who have Flash Quasi-Gods? Yes, Flash Quasi-God, this is a kind of legend in itself. Compared with the mythical beast, it is not false at all. 666. Invincible. Awesome. Ahem, I wish I had a Flash Quasi-God, just take off. Look at you, isn't the layout small? Anyway, it's just a dream. Wouldn't it be more beautiful to own 6 Flash Quasi-Gods at once? Some trainers, knowing that they have no chance to get their hands on wild chickens, simply give up. They started to get together, chatting with eloquence, happily puffing up the cowhide, and pointing out the country. Certainly. There are still a few strong ones who haven't given up yet. Even if their speed is not as fast as the ground chicken, they still pursue with all their strength. Let's talk about Wang Lu. The Salamence under his feet has reached the 753 elite realm, plus it has a golden bloodline comparable to that of a beast, and its strength even exceeds that of normal's champion-level Pokémon. Its speed is equally as fast. Compared with the free-range chicken, I don't know how much faster it is. Clang! The free-range chicken felt the pressure instantly, but it was more excited. It let out a long cry and suddenly accelerated. Its long legs kicked wildly, like a scud normal soaring forward. Unfortunately, it still can't widen the distance with Wang Lu and Salamence, and even, that distance is still shortening rapidly. After about half a minute. A whoosh sound. Salamence finally surpassed the free-range chicken and turned sharply in the air. The huge figure directly blocked the free-range chicken's path. Until this time, Wang Lu was finally able to view the attribute panel of the free-range chicken. Zapdos. Attribute, Flying plus Fighting. Level, Level 60, Guild Leader. Qualification, Gold. Nowadays, Lu's waveguide has evolved to the point where it can increase the energy of his pet fighting system, but unfortunately, waveguide has no affinity. Yes, the power of Yulong has dragon affinity, and the power of Vulcan has fire affinity. But the power of the waveguide does not have the affinity for fighting, and I don't know if it really doesn't exist, or it doesn't work for fighting Pokémon. After all the powerful fighting type Pokémon are unruly, long AOT and normal. There is only one way to conquer them, and that is to crush them with combat power. At this time, the free-range chicken stared closely at Salamence, the black giant, with a strong fighting spirit in his eyes. First of all, in terms of speed, it lost to Salamence, and it has not lost for a long time. But it's just speed, there is no absolute relationship between speed and combat power. The wild chicken naturally refused to accept it, and the dual wingbeat was startled, sending out a violent hurricane, flying sand and rocks, and went straight to Salamence. However, Salamence was not in vain at all, the huge blood wings slapped forward, directly drawing out a more violent hurricane. That hurricane instantly defeated the hurricane caused by the free-range chicken, destroyed the normal, ruthlessly hit the free-range chicken, knocked back the free-range chicken, and its paws sank deep into the ground. Deep ravine. For a while, the local chicken felt dizzy. Wang Lu jumped off Salamence's back, and at the same time gave an order to Salamence, "Dragon God dives now. Call out." In an instant, Salamence's momentum soared, and he flew out quickly. While releasing a powerful murderous aura to shock the walking chicken, he slammed into the walking chicken fiercely. With a bang, the smoke and dust exploded. When the smoke and dust dispersed, I saw the free-range chicken lying in a big pit, completely unconscious. "Go, Pokémon Ball!" Wang Lu directly took out a luxury ball, and hit the free-range chicken accurately, and the red light flashed and directly took the free-range chicken in. The luxury ball began to shake violently, and the red light in the middle flickered continuously. At this time, in Wang Lu's heart, Rare was a little excited and a little nervous. Because recently, it was too easy for Wang Lu to subdue Pokémon, such a battle subjugation made Wang Lu excited after a long absence. A few seconds later, there was a thump, the red light went off, and the luxury ball stopped shaking. This also means that Wang Lu has successfully subdued the free-range chicken. Zapdos. Attribute, Flying plus Fighting. Level 60, Guild Leader. Qualification, Gold. Physical attack skills, Ancient Power, Hurricane. Special skills, Brick Break, Brave Bird, Blaze Kick, Thunderous Kick, Close Combat. Alter abilities, Focus Energy, Bulk Up, Agility, Detect. Thunderous Kick. Wang Lu's eyes lit up when he checked the free-range chicken's skill panel. Thunderous Kick is an exclusive skill of the free-range chicken and a fighting skill, a Mega Kick that uses lightning-fast movements. Thunderous Kick not only has powerful power, but also has a powerful defense-breaking effect, that is, it can significantly weaken the enemy's physical defense within a certain period of time. Yes, normal Zapdos are good at special attacks, and free-range chickens are good at physical attacks. Coupled with the only ability of the free-range chicken, which is not to admit defeat, its combat power is very terrifying. Boom! Just when Wang Lu was using the system to check the free-range chicken's skill panel, a streak of destruction and death fell from the sky. The target is the luxury ball of free-range chicken. This purpose is very obvious. This destructive death light wants to blow up the luxury ball and free the free-range chicken. Wang Lu snorted coldly and finally subdued the free-range chicken. Wang Lu would never allow this to happen. With a thought in his mind, Salamence flashed out and blocked the destructive death light with his wings. At this time, Wang Lu looked towards sky with rage in his eyes. He was a young man in his mid-20s who was riding Metagross. Metagross. Attribute, Psychic plus Steel. Level, 75, Quasi-Elite. Qualification, Light Gold. Some trainers from behind also rushed over in an instant. Looking at the tense atmosphere in front of them and luxury ball lying on the ground, they couldn't help but be startled. Zhan Feng. The top 8 players in last year's Southern Alliance Conference. Many people in the crowd recognized Metagross's trainer and couldn't help but shout. This exhibition style is extremely unusual. Not only is he a top 8 player in the Southern Alliance Conference, he is also a well-known young man in the country. His family owns the largest Audiobooks factory in the country. His family has nothing but money. Speaking of which, the history of his family's fortune is quite interesting. About 20 years ago, his father, Zhan Tianxiang, ran a small Audiobooks factory. Suddenly one day, a large Metagross group came into the factory. 3 or 5 Metagross, and a large number of metang, beldum. Quasi-god cub. Zhang Tianxiang was so happy that he felt that his ancestral grave was smoking. You know, any quasi-god, or quasi-god cub, could be sold for 100 million. One is comparable to his entire Audiobooks factory, not to mention a group of. But while Zhang Tianxiang was ecstatic, he was also worried and frightened. After all, a common man is not guilty of carrying a jade. Zhang Tianxiang, who is a good businessman, knows this truth well and starts to make progress step by step. After that, Tianxiang met Yi Yiming. At that time, Gong Yiming was in his early 30s. Although he was not yet the champion of the southern region, he had already emerged and showed his talents. Zhang Tianxiang's friendship with Gong Yiming led to his business becoming bigger and more prosperous. However, Zhang Tianxiang also had the courage to promise Gong Yiming a shocking treasure, a flash beldum. Gong Yiming's current Flash Milotic, the current champion, actually started quietly from that day 20 years ago. Friend, 50 billion, give me this Zapdos. Zhang Feng stared at Wang Lu closely and said calmly. What he said seemed to be discussing, but in his tone, there was a hint of domineering that could not be rejected. What, 50 billion? More and more people gathered around. When they heard the price Zhang Feng offered to Wang Lu, they were shocked. It was indeed the world of the rich, and they couldn't understand it at all. Impossible. Wang Lu flatly refused. Don't say 50 billion, so what if it's 500 billion? Wang Lu is not short of money, how could he sell the beast to others? The mythical beast is a symbol of identity and status, and it will not be sold for any amount of money. Damn it, I actually refused. The crowd burst into exclamations again. When they saw that Wang Lu owned Flash Salamence, they knew that Wang Lu was not the one who was short of money, so they were prepared. But when Wang Lu refused, they were shocked again. After all, it was 50 billion, a total of 50 billion. If they managed it a little, in the next 18 generations, 5.7. I won't be able to spend it all in the next 180 generations. Haha, if you don't let me, then I will have no choice but to snatch it. Zhang Feng smiled recklessly, and shouted towards Metagross, come on, Metagross, use the freezing fist. Metagross let out a loud roar, and a chill came out from above the metal claw, and he slammed towards Salamence on the opposite side. At this time, Salamance's attention was all focused on the luxury ball under his feet. This is a pet that the owner has just adopted, so there is absolutely no room for loss. At that moment, Salamence slapped the left wing inward, and a strong wind swept the luxury ball backwards, and was firmly caught by Wang Lu. At the same time, Metagross' freezing fist hit Salamence hard. Bone-piercing ice flowers spread from Metagross's metal claw, covering Salamence. However, just as a small flake of ice grew on Salamance's body, it was melted by its fiery body. Yes, for Salamence, although there is no fire type, they are extremely active against flames. And Wang Lu's Flash Salamence is even worse, the body is also full of flame energy, coupled with the increase in Wang Lu's Vulcan power, it is even more incredible. Because of this, it surpasses the normal theory and is not as afraid of ice as imagined. Chapter 96. Sorry, I didn't take him seriously at all. What? Metagross hit Salamence perfectly with a freezing punch, but it had no effect. Seeing such a scene, Zhang Feng couldn't help but be surprised. Could it be that the Flash Quasi-God is really so strong? In fact, Zhang Feng has a secret. After 20 years of development, the Metagross group in his family has become bigger and bigger. Just this year, another Flash Beldum was born. And that Flash Beldum is now in his hands, and it has also evolved into Flash Metagross. Although, the current Flash Metagross is not as good as his Metagross, but it has already shown its edge. But Zhang Feng has been holding back all the time, and wants to further cultivate Flash Metagross, and plans to make a big splash at this year's Southern Alliance Conference, and even the National Conference. Dragon Tail. With Wang Lu's order, Salamence swept out the huge dragon tail, and slammed it on Metagross' body. That powerful force directly sent Metagross flying out. Flamethrower. Wang Lu ordered again, and Salamence opened his mouth and spit out an extremely huge, extremely red pillar of high-temperature fire, which had the power to burn the sky and boil the sea, and blasted fiercely on Metagross' body. When the flames dissipated, it was seen that Metagross's body was covered with burns, and he had completely passed out. Hiss, so strong! This Salamence actually killed Zanfan's trump card Pokémon in seconds. You know, Zhanfeng won the top 8 at the Southern Region Alliance Conference last year, and his strength is very strong, so his strength 04. The strength of this young man is too terrifying. If he also participates in this year's Southern Region Alliance Conference, he will definitely get a very high ranking. Don't forget, this boy not only has this powerful Salamence, he also conquered Zapdos just now. My god, I feel like he is invincible. In more than a month, the South Region Alliance Conference will open. This year, it must be very exciting. The crowd around the audience were all shocked. It's a pity that they don't know that besides Salamence and the wild chicken, Wang Lu has another Zapdos, as well as Moltres, Celebi, and even a primordial pterosaur. If they knew, I don't know what kind of expression they would have. At this time, Mirongxiu and Wang Xianai had just arrived riding by Dio, and happened to see the scene where Salamence killed Metagross instantly with a flamethrower. Mirongxue was slightly shocked. Zhanfeng, she also knows this person, is the top 8 contestants of the Southern Region Alliance Conference last year, and his strength is very strong. If she were to fight against Zhanfeng, she would not be sure at all. But she didn't expect that Wang Lu would instantly kill Zanfan's strongest trump card with one move. Once again, she was shocked by Wang Lu's powerful strength. Brother Wang Lu is amazing. Wang Xianai's eyes lit up even more, and the nympho-normal screamed loudly. Boy, this year's Southern Region Alliance Conference, I hope to see you again. Staring at Wang Lu, Zhanfeng's face was extremely ugly, and after leaving such a sentence, he wanted to leave. Being instantly killed by a trainer 5 years younger than himself in public, Zhanfeng felt extremely ashamed, and had no choice but to leave in despair. Not go? What can I do if I don't go? Trump card has been seconded, what else can he do? However, he has already planned to find someone to deal with Wang Lu secretly, and must find a way to snatch Zapdos away. Etc. Just as Zhanfeng was about to leave, Wang Lu called him to stop. How? Looking at Wang Lu's indifferent expression, Zhanfeng was a little displeased. He was used to power trip, when would someone dare to talk to him like that? You dare to snatch my pet, even if you fail, you have to pay the price, Salamence. Wang Lu greeted, and Salamence understood, and sprayed out a flame to sweep Zanfan's whole body. To know. In this world, humans have spent a long time with Pokémon, and their genes have also been upgraded. Humans in this world have very strong physiques and will not be easily injured, let alone die easily. Plus, Wang Lu didn't want to kill him, so it only made Salamence use a small part of his strength. Rao is so. At this moment, Zhanfeng's whole body was burned red, and his hair and clothes were burned completely in an instant. Turned into a bald head, fruit body. At first glance, it looks like a skinny monkey whose hair has been plucked, extremely despicable and extremely ugly. For a moment, Zhanfeng screamed hysterically. Compared with the burning pain in his body, the humiliation of his self-esteem being stepped on the ground and crushed made him even more crazy. Ha ha ha. The vast crowd of onlookers, looking at him like that, wanted to laugh but didn't dare to laugh. Finally, without knowing who started it, everyone burst into laughter. Zhanfeng was even more humiliated. He gritted his teeth, stared deeply at Wang Lu, and ran away in a panic. The crowd gradually dispersed. Some people are still reluctant to part with the free-range chicken. However, the formidable strength displayed by Wang Lu and the unscrupulous means made them feel chills from the bottom of their hearts, and they didn't dare to provoke Wang Lu at all. Wang Lu, that Zhanfeng is not normal. After there were no outsiders nearby, Mirongxue looked at Wang Lu and said with some concern, he has a very deep background. His father even has a good relationship with our southern region champion, Yiming. Hearing this, Wang Xianai seemed to be touched by astonish. She couldn't help but reached out and held Wang Lu's palm, her beautiful eyes full of worry. Wang Lu smiled lightly. Champion? So what? The champion is indeed very strong, but his own strength is not weak at all. What's more, the champion also needs face. Wang Lu didn't believe that the champion dared to suppress himself openly. If it is secretly, then Wang Lu is even more unscrupulous. Of course he is not arrogant, but confident, deeply confident. Don't worry, I just taught him a little lesson and didn't hit him hard. Wang Lu touched Wang Xianai's little head, and accidentally messed up her hair, and suddenly a burst of fragrance spread. I don't believe that just because of such a trivial matter the dignified champion will lower his status to target me. Heard the words. Wang Xianai couldn't help but nodded. She felt that what Wang Lu brother said was very reasonable, so she didn't worry so much. After all, no matter what, the champion and the four elites are all symbols of justice, at least on the bright side. Of course the champion will not lower his status to target you. What I mean is, with the backing of the champion, Zhang Feng acts without any scruples. I'm afraid he will harm you. Mirong Shui still said with some worry. Hearing this, Wang Xianai felt that Mirong Shui's point of view was right again, and when she looked at Wang Lu, she became a little worried again. Looking at Wang Xianai's ruthlessness, no, double-decker look? It doesn't seem right, how should I describe it? In short, Wang Lu was a little funny. He couldn't help pinching her tender face and smiled proudly. Zhang Feng? So his name is Zhang Feng? I'm sorry, I didn't take him seriously at all. Puff. Never expecting that Wang Lu would be so pretentious, Mirong Shui was directly amused, and couldn't help but give Wang Lu a blank look. And Wang Xianai's eyes looking at Wang Lu became even more admirable, as if there were stars twinkling in her beautiful eyes. At this time, Wang Lu took out the out-of-the-way luxury ball, smiled at the two daughters and said, "Hey, do you want to see Dahong?" Big Red. Mirong Shui and Wang Xianai were taken aback when they heard this. It's fighting Zapdos. Wang Lu explained with a smile. Good. Big Red is the new name Wang Lu gave to the free-range chicken. From a game point of view, it is a nickname. No way. After all, Wang Lu has two Zapdos, and he has to find a way to distinguish them. If it's called free-range chicken, it's a bit too fishy. Anyway, it is also a divine beast, and its combat power is really very powerful. In the previous life, there are countless players who directly called true fragrance. Therefore, Wang Lu called it Dahong. If it is big, it means awesome, and if it is small, such as Mitsumi, it means cute. This point, Wang Lu is very clear. I want to see it, brother Wang Lu, I want to see it. Wang Xianai hugged Wang Lu's arm and shook it excitedly. Mirong Shui was reserved, although she didn't say anything, but there was covet in her eyes. After all, Dahong is also a mythical beast, a legend, so of course she wants to take a good look at it. Okay, come out, Big Red. Wang Lu released Dahong. Clang. Dahong screamed, the sound was not loud, but very heavy, like thunder. The growl of normal large beasts is not normal, just like the lions and tigers in the previous life, they would roar whenever they hit yawn. The big red one is Zapdos, which is naturally a beast. Wow, so cute. Wang Xianai's words were astonishing. She became a gym trainer at a young age, and her thoughts are indeed different from ordinary people. Brother Wang Lu, is this really a fighting Pokémon? I really want to touch its muscles, is that okay? Wang Xianai approached Dahong cautiously, wanting to touch it, but not daring to touch it. Big Red, what do you think? Wang Lu asked Dahong, who turned her head to the other side arrogantly, as if she didn't hear him. Wang Lu chuckled, this guy is really rebellious. I had obviously subdued it openly, but I didn't expect that it would still be holding it like this. More importantly, this guy is almost an adult, and Wang Lu has missed the golden period of getting closer to him. Coupled with his personality, Wang Lu is somewhat oversized. It would be a big joke if this kid didn't obey the instructions if he was sent to the field. It may not be embarrassing to say that Zapdos can't move when he commands it, but Lu can't tolerate it. Haha, Wang Lu, I never thought this day would happen to you too. Seeing Wang Lu showing a rare expression of embarrassment, Mirong Shui laughed proudly as if she had found a treasure without any ladylike image. Like that, I just wanted to take out my phone and take some pictures of Wang Lu. Chapter 97. Big Red Exclusive, Thunderous Kick. It's just that Wang Lu has a huge head. When Mirong Shui proudly teased Wang Lu, Wang Xianai suddenly hugged Dahong's head, making Dahong sweat profusely. It never expected that he was so majestic, and even his master had nothing to do with him, and had to act according to his own face. How dare this little girl be so presumptuous? Wow, what a strong muscle! In just a few seconds, Tian Xianai almost covered half of Dahong's body. Subsequently, Wang Xianai paid more attention to Dahong's healthy feet. Big Red is a Pokémon with healthy feet. Its pair of healthy feet is extremely terrifying, full of strength, explosive power, and speed. Big Red, can you demonstrate your fighting skills for me? Wang Xianai finally let go of Dahong, and then, looking at Dahong, she asked expectantly. Dahong only felt that his whole body was not clean. As soon as Wang Xianai let go, it immediately distanced itself from Wang Xianai. As soon as Wang Xianai approached, it retreated. As soon as Wang Xianai approached it, it backed away, and with that timid look, it completely lost its dignity as a divine beast. In the end, it seemed that it had no other choice, so it hid behind Wang Lu, hoping that Wang Lu could help him deal with that annoying little girl. Dahong, are you willing to listen to me? Wang Lu took advantage of the situation and asked. Big Red nodded repeatedly. In fact, Wang Lu was able to defeat it easily. It had long recognized Wang Lu's strength, and basically recognized Wang Lu as its master. Otherwise, why should it be afraid of Wang Xianai? It probably kicked Wang Xianai away. But it was also thanks to Wang Xianai that such a disturbance made it possible for Wang Lu. Right now, the main pet relationship between Wang Lu and Dahong has barely reached the level above, that is, the level that can be commanded. But this is enough for Wang Lu, let's talk about it later. Wang Lu believes that with his ability and charm, he will be able to completely conquer Dahong. First, Wang Lu took out a sooth bell and tied it around Dahong's neck. Afterwards, when Dahong moves a little, sooth bell will make a pleasant ringtone of jingle bell, which invisibly enhances Dahong's intimacy. Axu, let's have a 1v1 match with Dahong and I. Let's demonstrate Dahong's fighting skills to Xianai. Wang Lu made an appointment to fight with Mirong Shui. Mirong Shui nodded. Suddenly, she felt that the nickname Wang Lu gave herself was a bit strange. Boj. Isn't this a pet name like Dahong and Mitsumi? Well, you Wang Lu, you big bastard, you actually took advantage of me. Mirong Shui didn't know what she was thinking, her little face flushed slightly, and then, she dispatched Imbor, intending to teach Wang Lu a lesson. The reason why Imbor was sent instead of Doran Bart. It is because Duolong is a ghost dragon, directly immune to fighting skills. Although, Big Red also has flying skills, and other skills. But the purpose of the fight now is mainly to demonstrate Dahong's fighting skills to Wang Xianai. After all, Wang Xianai is an expert in the fighting department, and she finally saw a fighting department animal. Of course, she wanted to see Dahong's fighting power with her own eyes. Not long after, Wang Lu, Mirong Shui and their respective Pokémon stood facing each other 30 meters away. Come on, Big Red, use Brick Break. Wang Lu just finished speaking. Dahong took a deep breath, and the golden light flashed under his feet. Obviously, it uses focus energy spontaneously, and in the next period of time, it will easily hit the enemy's vitals. After focus energy, I saw Big Red rushing forward like a whirlwind normal. At the same time, its right wing radiated a strong white light, slashing fiercely towards Imbor in front. Focus energy plus Brick Break, the combination is complete. What a quick move! The two daughters, Mirong Xiu and Wang Xianai, watched Dahong's dazzling movements, and exclaimed at the same time. Mirong Shui then hurriedly shouted, Imbor, quickly take the quick guard. Heard the words. Imbor quickly squatted down, crossed his arms in front of his chest, and made the most standard defensive posture in a short time. At the same time, Imbor will also bulge the muscles of the whole body. Imbor spontaneously used bulk up, and in a short period of time, his strength and defense were greatly improved. Quick guard plus bulk up, the combination is complete. Big Red and Imbor, they are undoubtedly experienced powerhouses, highly proficient in various skills, and can easily master various skills. No matter attacking or defending, it is a combo skill at every turn. There was a bang. I saw the red brick break slashing hard at Imbor. From the setting point of view, quick guard, like protect and detect, is an absolute defense in many cases. But this is the real world, and there is no such thing as absolute defense. As long as the power is strong enough, it can ignore everything and crush everything. Right now, Yinhong's power is so powerful. As soon as it shot a knife, it repelled the huge and heavily armed Imbor fiercely, and the smoke and dust rushed up wildly. What a powerful force! At this moment, the two daughters, Mirong Shui and Wang Xianai, were shocked. Especially Wang Xianai, her little face was flushed with excitement. Big Red, fighting Zapdos, it's really amazing. However, not only Mirong Shui and Wang Xianai. At this time, even De Hong was extremely surprised. It never expected. My own strength has become so powerful. It vaguely feels. With the owner Wang Lu as the center, an extremely powerful energy magnetic field appeared around here. What's even weirder is, this energy magnetic field can actually amplify the fighting energy in its body, at least, increase the fighting energy in its body by 30%. 30%, what a terrifying concept is this? Could it be that this powerful energy magnetic field was created by the master? At this moment, De Hong could clearly sense strong energy fluctuations coming from Wang Lu's body, which made it jump in the heart and respect Wang Lu in awe. Don't throw in the towel, Imbor, use Thunder Punch. Mirong Shui gave an order, interrupting the thoughts in Hong's heart. On Imbor's fists, strong thunder and lightning flashed continuously, and it threw out both fists, continuously attacking towards De Hong. In the air, electric sparks flickered one after another. Unfortunately, compared with De Hong, Imbor's speed is really too slow. I saw Imbor's thunder punch swung continuously, let alone hit De Hong. At least in terms of speed, the gap between the two sides is really too big. Big Red, use thunderous kick. As soon as Wang Lu finished speaking, De Hong suddenly splashed, flying a kick like lightning, and normal kicked Imbor hard. Ah! Under this heavy blow, Imbor couldn't help howling, and his figure couldn't help but retreat violently. A second later, Imbor stopped. I saw that it was wounded all over, panting, and its spirit was already sluggish. Thunderous kick? What kind of skill is this? It's so powerful. At this time, both Mirong Shui and Wang Xianai couldn't help being surprised. To know. This thunderous kick is the exclusive skill of fighting Zapdos, and it is not only powerful, but also has a 100% defense breaking effect. That is, at this time, Imbor has fallen into the defense breaking contest condition, and the physical defense has dropped significantly. In other words, the damage it will suffer next will be even greater. Give it the final blow, use brick break. Wang Lu ordered again. Bang! There was a storm of smoke and dust. When the smoke cleared, Imbor had already collapsed, completely unconscious. Come back, Imbor, thank you for your hard work. Mirong Shui normal comforted, while taking Imbor back. Then, with her beautiful eyes, she looked at De Hong in amazement. This De Hong is really too strong, worthy of being a legendary Pokémon. Big Red is amazing. Wang Xianai's eyes lit up, and she wanted to hug De Hong again, which made De Hong very frightened, and hid behind Wang Lu as if fleeing. After this battle, Yin Hong already respected Wang Lu very much. After Wang Lu rode Salamence, Mirong Shui and Wang Xianai rode Bai Diao, returned the same way, and soon joined Cao Lai. The first goal is done. Yes, Big Red was the first target Wang Lu detected with the wave guide. Wang Lu didn't expect it to be it at first, thinking it was just a totem Pokémon. Wang Lu's mood at the moment is naturally very good for subduing a divine beast so easily. Cao Lai, come up. Next, the four act together and fly towards Wang Lu Lokon's second goal. I have to say that both Salamence and Bai Diao are very fast. In less than half an hour, Wang Lu and his team found the second target on a coast. Good. The secret realm is not a closed space, and what is connected to the secret realm is the endless sea. This Ling Yin secret realm is equivalent to a small island by the sea, and most other secret realms are like this. On the beach, there are turtle shells everywhere. Squirtle shell, Wartortle shell, and even Blastoise's shell. Obviously, these guys are sleeping in leisurely. And among these many turtle shells, there is an incomparably huge Blastoise shell. The diameter of the shell alone is more than 2 meters. It is hard to imagine how big that Blastoise is. Blastoise. Attribute, Water. Level, Level 65, Master. Qualification, Light Gold. Pale Gold Aptitude, as expected of a totem Pokémon. Wang Lu glanced at the Blastoise shell and was startled. It really is a totem Pokémon. Wang Lu, you are amazing. Looking at the huge Blastoise shell, Mirong Shui was surprised and delighted. Totem Pokémon, this is a very rare Pokémon. For normal, there are no wild totem Pokémon outside the secret realm. And even in the secret realm, wild totem Pokémon are extremely rare and rare. Mirong Shui never expected that Wang Lu would find the totem Pokémon so easily. Is this the legendary Wave Guide hero? It's really amazing. 0. She doesn't know. Wang Lu is not only a Wave Guide hero, but also a Dragon Envoy and Vulcan. Although, the world is so big, there are many strange people and strange things. There are always some people who have this or that special ability. But, compared with the general public, those people are rare, and their special abilities are also strong and weak. Only Wang Lu has 3 divine powers at the same time, and all of them are extraordinary. This is terrible. Chapter 98. Fierce Battle. Big Red vs Totem Blastoise. Boss is indeed the boss, he can find totem Pokémon so easily. No wonder, he can tame so many Flash Pokémon, he even has 2 Zapdos and a Celebi. I really can't imagine what kind of situation he will reach in the future. Looking at the huge Blastoise turtle shell in amazement, at this moment, Cao Lai was more than worshipping Wang Lu in his heart, he was simply worshipping him. He just wants to hug Wang Lu's thigh tightly and wait for a chance in the future. Brother Wang Lu is amazing. It's a legend, and it belongs to Totem. In the future, I believe he can become the youngest and most handsome elite in the southern region, and even the champion. Wang Xianai looked at Wang Lu, showing a nympho look again. At this time, Wang Lu took 2 steps forward and sent Da Hong out again. After all, Wang Lu has just conquered Da Hong, so of course he needs to give it more chances to show off. Da Hong, wake them up. Clang. Da Hong immediately opened his mouth and let out a thunderous growl, and then, a very interesting scene appeared. I saw those Squirtles and Wartortles jumped up and trembled in shock from the scarlet growl. Then, he fled to the back of the totem Blastoise in a hurry, seeking asylum. Kami. There were also 3 or 5 ordinary Blastoises. Although they didn't jump up in fright, they were also intimidated by Big Red's strong Hideki and dared not fight. They also hid behind that totem Blastoise like a group of Squirtles and Wartortle normals. At this time, Totem Blastoise also woke up and stood up. It is really huge, with a body length of more than 240 centimeters. At a glance, it is simply a huge cause. There are 3 or 5 normal Blastoises standing behind it, the small one is just like its child normal. Certainly. It is a majestic totem, and its bloodline gene 323 is extremely powerful. It will only have 1 or 2 children at most in its life, or even no children. It is impossible to give birth to so many children. Boss, is this the latest fighting Zapdos you conquered? It looks so strong. Looking at Da Hong's imposing look, Ho Lai was shocked in his heart. He knew that from this moment on, Wang Lu's strength became even stronger. Wang Lu nodded, waved his hand, and shouted towards Da Hong, up, Thunderous Kick. Start with Thunderous Kick. After all, Thunderous Kick breaks defense 100%, making it suitable for starting attacks. Wang Lu just finished speaking. I saw Big Red rushing out like lightning, using his leg power to splash high, and then flying up with a normal lightning kick, and kicked Totem Blastoise fiercely. Kami. Unexpectedly, Totem Blastoise was not only not afraid, but stood up and blocked the kick with both hands. With a bang sound, Totem Blastoise endured such a fierce blow, but Totem Blastoise only took 3 steps back, plowing deep ravines on the beach with the soles of his feet. What a strong defense! Mirong Shui was surprised. From the point of view of momentum, the Totem Blastoise in front of her is not much stronger than her Flash Imbor, and if she doesn't talk about the attribute, she thinks it is comparable. But she didn't expect that Totem Blastoise's defense was so strong. This is because, although Flash and Totem are both genetically mutated, they have more powerful bloodlines than similar ones. However, their bloodline advantages are different. As for Totem, he has a huge body and possesses stronger physical strength and defense compared to similar creatures. But the speed, as far as normal is concerned, is not as good as similar ones. As for Flash, compared with similar products, they have certain advantages in all aspects, and are relatively average in all aspects, which is a comprehensive improvement. In short, Flash and Totem Pokémon each have their own advantages and disadvantages. However, in terms of strength and defense alone, Flash, far inferior to Totem of the same level. Kami. After suffering the pain, Totem Blastoise showed his ferocious appearance. With a roar, an extremely icy air condensed on the front of the fist, and a freezing fist ruthlessly knocked Dahong away. Bang bang! At the same time, from the two cannons behind Totem Blastoise, two high-pressure hydro pumps suddenly shot out, hitting Dahong again. Freeze punch plus hydro pump, the perfect combination. Totem Blastoise burst out with powerful force in an instant, directly injuring Dahong severely. Even though Dahong had strong physical strength, he couldn't help but scream at this time. So strong! Looking at the terrifying power displayed by Totem Blastoise, Mirong Xue's beautiful eyes trembled. Dahong is good at melee combat, and is undoubtedly at a disadvantage when facing Totem Blastoise, which has high defense and thick HP, and looks like a tank. Bang bang! Totem Blastoise seemed to be angry, and after sending Big Red flying, it still didn't stop attacking. Among its two cannons, every half a second, two high-pressure hydro pumps will be ejected, and they will crazily shoot towards the Big Red. Wang Lu's eyes froze, and he said, "Use detect." In an instant, Dahong's eyes became sharp, and it easily detected the attack trajectory of Totem Blastoise. Coupled with its ghostly speed, it seemed to be dancing normal, and the hydro pump shot by Totem Blastoise flashed past again and again. Very good, power up with bulk up, thunderous kick again. Wang Lu praised and ordered again. Dahong immediately puffed up the muscles of his whole body, and the golden light under his feet flashed. With even stronger power, he flew up like lightning, and normal kicked towards Totem Blastoise fiercely. Once again, Big Red's thunderous kick hit Totem Blastoise hard. And this time the effect was immediate. Kami! Totem Blastoise howled miserably, retreating back uncontrollably. His Solace plowed two ravines more than 10 meters long on this beach, and knocked a large number of Squirtles and Wartortles into the air along the way. When Totem Blastoise finally stopped, there were obvious scars on its body surface, and it was exhausted began to pant violently. Good, terrifying thunderous kick. Could it be that this skill also has the effect of breaking defense? Mirong Xue deserves to be the daughter of elite, with extraordinary strength and vision. Wang Lu didn't tell her about this kind of thing at all, and she guessed it by herself. But no matter how she guessed, she only dared to guess the probability of breaking the defense. But in fact, thunderous kick is a 100% defense break, and a percentage break. The higher your defense is, the more obvious the effect will be after being broken. Possess the skill thunderous kick. Big Red can be said to be more courageous and stronger as he fights. And rival will only get weaker and weaker. More and more vulnerable. Totem Blastoise has suffered two thunderous kicks in a row. No matter how high its basic defense is, it is just a crispy skin now. Give it one last hit, Big Red, use Blaze Kick. Looking at the weak look of Totem Blastoise, Wang Lu is no longer a human being, and beats water with fire. Rao is so. The Big Red Blaze Kick can easily take away Totem Blastoise who is weak in contest condition. Blaze Kick. Thunderous Kick must have a defense-breaking effect, and the probability is very high. Otherwise, he would not be so confident. Thinking like this, Mirong Xue was horrified. Big Red, this fighting Zapdos, is really too strong. With Dahong, Mirong Xue simply can't imagine where Wang Lu will reach in the future. Brother Wang Lu is amazing. Dahong is amazing. Seeing Wang Lu and Dahong easily crushing Totem Blastoise, Wang Xianai screamed like an idiot again. She only knew that Dahong was very strong, but she didn't see the true nature of thunderous kick like Mirong Xue did. Although she is a gym trainer and specializes in fighting, her strength, vision, and realm are still far behind Mirong Xue. Certainly. If it were her father Wang Zhong, he would probably be able to see the extraordinary qualities of thunderous kick. Go, Pokémon Ball! Wang Lu took out a luxury ball and successfully conquered Totem Blastoise. Blastoise. Attribute, Water. Level 65, Master. Qualification, Light Gold. Physical attack skills, Rapid Spin, Bite, Freeze Punch, Skull Bash. Special attack skills, Electric Cannon Gloss, Water Wave, Hydro Pump. Change skills, Shrink Shell, Iron Defense, Protect. For Blastoise, Wang Lu still prefers it. Now I have conquered a Totem Blastoise and played with it. It feels very good. Wang Lu especially admires the two cannons behind Totem Blastoise. Right. Since it is Totem Wang Lu's Blastoise, the two cannons behind it, are much larger than the normal blast was, and are naturally more powerful. They can be called Italian cannons. The attributes of Blastwaz and Mitsumi are heavy. It's just right. Let's send Mitsumi to my parents tonight. Wang Lu has decided long ago that he will continue to send some rare Pokémon to his parents, because it will be of great help to his parents' careers. Moreover, his parents are blood relatives, not outsiders. Wang Lu is very relieved to keep the pets with them. I believe that the second elder will not treat his pet badly. And if you need it, you can take it back at any time. Come out, Blastwaz. Wang Lu released Blastwaz. Good guy, it is really big, with a body length of more than 240 centimeters, and a very strong body. It looks like a hill normal. Wang Lu is only 180 centimeters tall. Compared with this guy, he is too thin and slender. Although Blastwaz is powerful, it is not as rebellious as Dahong. Now, it has been subdued by Wang Lu, and its eyes have become very friendly when looking at Wang Lu. Blastwaz is a turtle after all, with a relatively gentle temperament. Wang Lu couldn't help but patted its belly and said with a smile, Blastwaz, please give me more advice in the future. Kami. Blastwaz also smiled happily. Through the relationship of Blastwaz, the Squirtles and Wartortles on this beach, including those ordinary Blastwazes, looked at Wang Lu and their eyes, and became friendly. Murong Shuet, Wang Xianai and Cao Lai began to look for Squirtle. Obviously, these three people want to select a Squirtle with good qualifications to carry out breeder. After all, Squirtle is from the Yuzan family and can be considered a rare Pokémon. At least outside the secret realm, it is very rare to see. Chapter 99. Kill Totem Kingler in one move. Not long. Murong Shuet, Wang Xianai and Cao Lai each found a Squirtle with blue qualifications. Even if the three of them don't have a system, they can easily select highly qualified Pokémon through comparison. This is because the strength of a Pokémon's bloodline is clearly reflected in its size. Pokémon with normal talents, high qualifications, and advanced bloodlines will grow stronger than similar Pokémon. Theoretically speaking, as a Pokémon increases its level, it will also make the body stronger. The difference is that talent, qualifications, and bloodline are all destined by God. But the level is improved through acquired efforts. There seems to be a bit of a contradiction here. So, for a strong Squirtle, does it have high talent and qualifications, or does it have a high level? The answer is that the higher the talent and qualifications, the higher the level. This is because guys with extraordinary talents are powerful and naturally grow much faster than their peers. This view is not absolute, but it is 9 out of 10. After everyone gained something, Wang Lu and his team continued to move forward, flying towards Wang Lu's third goal. The territory of this third target is not far from the territory of Totem Blastwaz. After a while, Wang Lu looked ahead at the beach and said, "We're here." Murong Shuet, Wang Xianai and Cao Lai looked up. On that beach, a large number of Krabby and Kingler gathered. There is no doubt that this is a Kingler group. Among them, there is an extremely huge Kingler, which is more than 2 meters long, much taller than an adult, and comparable to Wang Lu's Totem Blastwaz. Totem Kingler. Murong Shuet, Wang Xianai and Cao Lai couldn't help but exclaimed when they looked at the extremely huge Kingler. Kingler. Attribute, Water. Level 62, Master. Qualification, Light Gold. Compared to Krabby, the pliers on Kingler's left side have become much larger and have more power. Through that left clamp, there is a Kingler who can even fire a destructive death ray. And the left pincer of the Totem Kingler is extremely huge, and its power is simply unimaginable. At this time, as Wang Lu and his group flew towards them on Salamence and Baidiao, the Krabby and Kinglers below were instantly alerted. They all raised their pliers and made a click-click sound, which was a warning. The Totem Kingler went even further. He directly raised his huge left pincer and fired a huge bubble beam, blasting towards Salamence from bottom to top. Totem Kingler, with its huge body and huge pincers, not only brings power, but also range. At the moment, this Totem Kingler has done something that other Kinglers and Krabby simply cannot do. However, Totem Kingler's bubble beam was not only easily avoided by Salamence, but it also angered Salamence. He opened his mouth and fired Black Dragon Breath, killing him instantly. Also killed in seconds were Kingler and Krabby who were nearby. Salamence. Murong Shue's heart trembled. Only now did she realize that Wang Lu's Salamence had become stronger again, much stronger than during the freshman competition a few days ago. Totem Kingler? It's not bad. It's very respectable to keep at home, and my parents will definitely like totem Pokémon very much. Wang Lu smiled in his heart, took out a luxury ball, and successfully conquered Kingler. About 2 hours later, Wang Lu and his party came to a valley. The next journey is not suitable for flying. Moreover, Salamence and Bai Diao have been flying for so long, so it is time for them to take a rest. Even Salamence won't be hard. At this time, Bai Diao was panting and obviously exhausted. After all, it also carries 2 people. Wang Lu's Salamence is a flash quasi-god. It has reached the elite level and has unfathomable physical strength. It can carry 2 people without any problem. As for Bai Diao, there was no problem at first, but as time went by, it became a bit weak. Mirong Shui hugged Bai Diao with some distress, stroked its feathers, and said apologetically, "I'm sorry Bai Diao, I've made you work so hard." Bai Diao shook his head weakly, and rubbed his head against Mirong Shui's face, showing an affectionate look. "Come down and have a good rest." Mirong Shui took Bai Diao back, and then the group started walking. This valley is located in the center of Lingyan Secret Realm. In addition to Wang Lu and his team, there are also many trainers here. "Hey! Look, isn't that kid the trainer with Flash Salamence who conquered Zapdos outside the secret realm this morning? Ri, you are so awesome. I wish I could call him daddy, but you dare not call him grandson? Be careful to suppress you." "That's right, that brother doesn't even look down on Zhan Feng, but you dare to be so presumptuous. I'm really tired of living." Slip of the tongue, that guy is really awesome, and his future prospects are simply limitless. Yes, my little brother is handsome and capable, and he seems to have a good family background. I really like him. Wang Lu and his party walked along and attracted admiration from passers-by. At this time, Wang Lu's beauty even had to cover up Mirong Shui, a top beauty. Although Mirong Shui is the daughter of elite, she is still young, she is only 17 or 18 years old this year. In Xianyuan City, she participated in the Pokémon Youth Cup last year, and she also won the top 8, so she has the highest status in Xianyuan City great fame. But outside Xianyuan City, her reputation is not prominent. People only think that she is very beautiful, but they do not know that she is actually the daughter of today's elite. On the other hand, Wang Lu, who owns Flash Salamence, even conquered the legendary Zapdos this morning. In this secret realm, Wang Lu has already become famous, and everyone knows about it. As time goes by, Wang Lu's reputation for possessing Flash Salamence and conquering fighting Zapdos has gradually spread beyond the secret realm. For everyone's compliments and admiration, Wang Lu didn't pay too much attention and walked straight to the depths of the valley with Mirong Shui, Wang Xianai and Cao Lai. Through the wave guide, Wang Lu felt that the 4th and 5th targets were not far ahead. The 4th target and the 5th target are very close, maybe they are the same Pokémon. Holy shit, Lord! The Room Master Pokémon has appeared. 2 totem Pokémon appeared at the same time. Golem, Onyx, damn, it's so big, it's a totem Pokémon. Suddenly, there was a series of exclamations in front of them, which instantly attracted the attention of Wang Lu and others, as well as some passer-by trainers on the outskirts of the valley. Wang Lu's group and these passer-by trainers accelerated their speed and rushed towards the depths of the valley. However, when Wang Lu and the others rushed over, the 2 totem Pokémon had already been subdued by an old man. "It's so strong, it's worthy of being the owner of the gymnasium, so strong." Some people in front couldn't help exclaiming when they saw the old man's strength. Good. That old man wasn't normal's old man, otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to successfully subdue 2 totems in such a short period of time. His surname is Yan Gang, and he is the owner of the Panshi Gymnasium in Panshi City in the southern region. The Rock Gym is a dual-system gym of rock and steel, so this Yan Gang is the owner of the dual-system gym of rock and steel. "Come out, little guys." At this time, Yan Gang released the 2 totem Pokémon he had just tamed. Wang Lu couldn't help but take another look. Golem. Attribute, Rock plus Ground. Level 58, Elite. Qualification, Light Gold. Onyx. Attribute, Rock plus Ground. Level 46, Elite. Qualification, Orange. It turned out to be an elite totem, no wonder, this old man was subdued so quickly. Wang Lu complained in his heart. At this time, Mirong Shui poked Wang Lu with her arm, and said with a smile, "How about it, are you mad at being me first?" Wang Lu smiled lightly. "It's just totem, not that much." As expected, Yan Gang is an expert in the rock department. After a while, he became one with the two totems, and took out some food suitable for the rock Pokémon taste. The two totems suddenly looked like children. As totems, they are huge and have an amazing appetite. With just a little bit of Pokémon food, they will be wiped out in a short time. Immediately afterwards, Yan Gang took out the metal coat and gave it to Totem Onyx to carry. With a flash of white light, Totem Onyx evolved into an even bigger Totem Steelix. Steelix. Attribute Steel plus Ground. Level 46, Elite. Qualification, Light Gold. Holy crap! Totem Golem, Totem Steelix. Even if you are a gym leader, these two Pokémon should have trump card qualifications, right? Definitely, Totem Pokémon has amazing potential. If it is trained by the owner himself, it won't take long before it can become a top powerhouse. I cry with envy. It's just one of them, but it actually conquered two Song Totem Pokémon at the same time. Who can withstand it? Just give me a Totem Pokémon and I'll take off on the spot, okay? Everyone around looked at Yan Gang with envy and hatred. At this moment, Yan Gang walked towards Wang Lu suddenly, and said with a smile, "Little brother, I remember you are the trainer who subdued Zapdos, right? Let's have a Pokémon battle? How about it?" "No problem at all." Wang Lu smiled lightly and said, "But old man, since you are the gym leader, then this battle should be regarded as my gymnastics challenge." "Okay, Feng'er." The owner of the hall, Yan Gang, agreed, and at the same time, he shouted to the little boy next to him. This little boy named Feng'er is Yan Gang's grandson. His real name is Yan Feng. He is only 10 years old this year, but he was brought into the secret realm by Yan Gang to see the world. I saw Yan Feng nodded obediently, opened the suitcase he was carrying, carefully took out a badge of the owner of the Panshi Gym, and handed it to Yan Gang. Chapter 100. For a while, Wang Lu and the host Yan Gang are 30 meters apart, standing opposite each other, and the host challenge is about to begin. "Grandpa, come on!" Yan Feng stood behind Yan Gang, looked at his grandfather adoringly, and shouted loudly. The Battle of the Strong. The fierce collision between the legendary Pokémon and the totem Pokémon. This game is exciting. 666, I didn't expect to see such a fierce confrontation in this secret realm. It's worth it. Although I didn't even catch a Pokémon, I still don't give up on this trip. Everyone backed away while talking. After all, a battle of this level between legend and totem must be terrifying. If you watch the battle at close range, there may be some danger. Let's step back a little too. While talking, Mirong Shui retreated with Cao Lai and Wang Xianai. The first Pokémon Yan Gang sent out was Steelix. Yes, it was the totem Steelix he had just subdued. "Little brother, the rules of our Panshi Gym Master Challenge are 6v6, halfway through, you can change Pokémon freely, no problem." Yan Gang asked Wang Lu while describing the rules of the game. "No problem, go, Kingler." Wang Lu nodded, and at the same time, sent out his first Pokémon. 257 Steelix, Golden Epic, level 46, Elite. Kingler, Golden Epic, level 62, Master. Wang Lu, the Kingler, has a very strong personality. Facing the incomparably huge totem Steelix, it doesn't have the slightest fear in its eyes. Its aura is much stronger than that of Steelix. I saw it staring at Steelix coldly, while holding the pliers and making a clang 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 sound, not to mention how power trip it was. What a big Kingler! Totem! It's totem Pokémon again. Damn, when did there become so many totem Pokémon? In just a short while, we've already seen 3 totems. What's the use of 3 totems, and they're not mine? Looking at Kingler, Jiang exclaimed again. Many of them looked at Kingler and Steelix with envy and hatred in their eyes. However, facing Steelix, Kingler's chances of winning should not be great, right? You know, Kingler is best at physical attack, but Steelix's physical defense is extremely top-notch. This statement is wrong. Although Steelix has high physical defense, its special defense is very normal. In addition, Kingler's attribute is very powerful. I believe that Kingler has a higher chance of winning this game. Before the game started, everyone started arguing and reached a stalemate. At this moment, Wang Lu yelled at Kingler, "Kingler, this is your first match, you should perform well." Heard the words. Kingler immediately clamped the pliers and made a clang-clang sound in response. Very good. Wang Lu nodded, looked at Yan Gang and Steelix on the opposite side, his eyes became sharp instantly. "Come on, Kingler, use the hydro pump." The voice just fell. I saw that Kingler immediately opened his huge pincers, sprayed out a high-pressure hydro pump, carrying a powerful force, and ruthlessly blasted towards the opposite Steelix. To know. Compared with their peers, totem Pokémon not only have a huge physique, but also lose some base speed, which makes them like a big target in the battle. Therefore, in many cases, totem Pokémon don't bother to dodge the enemy's attack, because it is really difficult to dodge. That being the case, it's better to carry it hard and prepare for the next attack. By the way, Yan Gang, the dignified owner, really understands the totem Pokémon's ability. Facing Kingler's hydro pump attack, he shouted directly, "Steelix, take it down, use takedown to attack." There was a boom. Kingler's hydro pump hit Steelix fiercely, the effect was outstanding, and it caused huge damage to Steelix for a while. Ho! For a moment, Steelix also howled in pain, but while howling, it also launched an offensive, using its huge body to soar forward, flying sand and rocks all the way, and ruthlessly headed towards the opposite Kingler takedown. What a terrible offensive! Seeing the Steelix flying like sand and rocks, someone outside the field suddenly exclaimed. Good! The unusually huge body and unimaginable weight endow totem Steelix with unimaginable attack power, which is definitely an attack beyond theory. Even if Kingler is far ahead in terms of level, once he is hit, it is probably no small matter. However, facing Steelix's takedown attack, Wang Lu was not afraid at all, because its speed was relatively slow, and Kingler had all the time to react before its takedown attack arrived. Wang Lu calmly shouted, "Kingler, use bubble attack with all your strength to reduce its speed, and then use the most powerful crab punch." Heard the words. Kingler immediately used bubble beam continuously, causing Steelix's forward speed to drop dramatically. Without the driving force of speed, no matter how powerful it is, the power of tackle is quite normal. Oops! Yan Gang exclaimed. Immediately afterwards, Kingler jumped up and used a crab punch to collide with Steelix head-on, causing a huge explosion and smoke and dust. Ouch! Steelix continued to suffer pain and howled miserably. Finally, his body was overwhelmed and he fell down, stirring up a lot of dust again. There was no professional referee to supervise this match, but anyone with a discerning eye could see that at this point, Steelix had lost the ability to fight. Yan Gang, the master of the hall, naturally wouldn't do anything fancy. He took Steelix back and smiled at Wang Lu, "Little brother, I saw it right. You can conquer the legendary Zapdos." As expected, he is not a normal trainer. For a while, Yan Gang greatly appreciated Wang Lu. The audience at the scene nodded secretly after hearing this. This guy is indeed very strong. Not only does he have powerful Pokémon, but his commanding ability is also very good. In the audience, probably only Yan Feng was secretly disdainful. TCH, this Steelix is just a newbie that Grandpa just conquered. Even though totem Pokémon has terrible potential, it has not grown up at all now and is far inferior to Grandpa's main Pokémon. Look, when Grandpa uses the main Pokémon, that guy is not Grandpa's rival at all. At this time, Yan Gang sent out the second Pokémon, the totem golem that he had just conquered before. The normal golem is only about 1.5 meters tall and weighs 300 kilograms. As for Yan Gang's totem golem, it is over 2 meters long and looks extremely huge. If it weighs less than a ton, it is probably not much different. It had just come out, and there was already a slight depression in the ground under its feet, which was simply scary. "Golem, after harden, use rollout," Yan Gang ordered. Harden makes the body harden, thus greatly improving physical defense. But if rollout is used under harden contest condition, the power of rollout will be doubled. Golem immediately retracted its head and limbs into the big stone behind it and rolled forward. Its speed became faster and faster, and its power became stronger and stronger. Wherever it passed, the ground was plowed with a huge mark, which clearly shows how powerful this rollout is. Wang Lu's eyes were slightly stern, and he secretly thought, this golem is in rollout contest condition, Bubble is afraid that it will not be able to slow it down, and will probably make it slip, thus greatly increasing its speed and power. Bubble beam cannot be used. In that case, Kingler uses hydro pump and attacks its corners to bounce it away. Wang Lu gave an order, and Kingler immediately obeyed, opening his giant pincers and shooting out a high-pressure hydro pump, towards the angle between the left side of Golem and the ground. There was a bang. Golem was hit hard on the left side, and the attack trajectory lost control and suddenly rolled to the right. Yan Gang was stunned and quickly shouted, "Golem, stop!" Golem stopped immediately, but at this time, it was panting and its energy was almost exhausted. Rollout attacks are too easy for it, effortless at all. However, it is 4 times weaker due to attribute. Now, it was hit by the powerful hydro pump, and suffered heavy losses for a while. Give it the final blow, use Bubble Beam. Following Wang Lu's order, Kingler quickly released Bubble Beam, knocking Golem down. At this point, Yan Gang has lost 2 Pokémon in a row. Damn, he's so strong. That guy is so strong. He can actually break the rollout attack like that. Wrong. It's because Totem Kingler's hydro pump is too powerful. Normal people can't learn it at 0.6. Yes, but even so, that little brother is very strong. You know, the person standing opposite him now is a gym leader. However, he now has an overwhelming advantage. Come on, handsome boy, my sister loves you. Under the command of Wang Lu, Kingler easily went through 2, which made it more and more power trip. Unexpectedly, he started dancing in front of everyone. While everyone was laughing, they were also praising Wang Lu endlessly. Yes, Wang Lu has many rare and powerful Pokémon, but it would be a big mistake to underestimate his command ability because of this. At this time, Mirang Shui looked at Wang Lu with a look of admiration. Among her peers, she rarely admired someone, but she had to admire Wang Lu. Now, in her heart, Wang Lu has become the man she will chase all her life. Brother Wang Lu is really handsome. He is so young, but he has a tyrannical strength that even the owner of the gym cannot match. He is so handsome. He is so handsome. Staring intently at Wang Lu's handsome side face, Wang Xianai held her hot little face with both hands and began to become infatuated again.